Today, the senior leadership and their coaching staff hope they can pull off the big upset for the third time in 11 years. And as you look at keep that in mind. That's Chris Zingo across the way, number 47, along with Bill Lazor, number 11, the co-captains for the game, coming out. Pennsylvania's team is not yet on the field. Both of these men will be playing their last game today. Zingo, the all-time tackling leader, and Lazor, who has set all of the passing records ever at Cornell. And Pennsylvania's co-captains are out to meet them. And there is Jim McGeehan and his undefeated Pennsylvania squad. Here they come. Trying to become the first undefeated squad at Pennsylvania since 1986, when they also won the Ivy League championship. Now, in looking at their record, we told you Cornell defeated Harvard by the score of 27-0. Now look here, last week at Harvard, where Penn won for the first time since 1972. They were down 20-10 and had to rally to pull it out. So Cornell watchers say that could be a factor, that Cornell played Harvard a lot tougher than Penn did. Hello, I'm Jim Simpson. In preseason, 8 different football publications said Pennsylvania will finish no better than 3rd. One said 4th. They picked Dartmouth number 1, Princeton number 2. Let me ask you what has happened with this Pennsylvania squad as I call in Kevin Guthrie, former All-American wide receiver at Princeton University. Kevin, they said they'd finish 3rd or 4th, and here they are undefeated and looking for the undisputed championship.
Well, it just shows that we in the press, we prognosticators, don't know what we're talking about. It's very difficult to predict this league. But as you look at this Penn team, this is the fastest team, especially defensively, that I've seen in the 10 years I've been watching the league. Very fast on defense. But if you look at the Penn team as compared to some of their earlier good teams, the 10-0 team in '86, I think what makes this team different is its balance. It's got tremendous balance. Look at their offense. They got a kid like Terrence Stokes who can rush for 272 yards against Princeton. On the other hand, they got receivers like Brazel and Masick. Masick has the most catches of any Penn receiver in history, so they can beat you with the pass and the run. It's tough to defend that.
Admittedly, Cornell has had a tough year, mainly because of place kicking. We'll talk about that later. But what about Cornell and its leadership today?
Well, they've had some bad breaks. They've lost some very close games. You know, this kind of game comes down to the senior leadership and the pride. And the coaches of Cornell have a lot of faith in these kids. It's a very good group, a small group. Only 8 guys remain now uninjured, still playing as seniors for Cornell. So it's a very young football team. A lot of pressure on their older guys.
And I said it is very windy.
It is windy. You know, I think the key for Cornell offensively is they have to neutralize Penn's very strong defensive linebacker core. And how do you do that? One of the ways you do it is throw the short pass. So I think part of Cornell's plan today is to be successful throwing the short pass. Now, Penn, whose quarterback Jim McGeehan has a stronger arm than Bill Lazor, you might think they would do better with the wind. Strong arm, better thrower. But I think Cornell, trying to just throw the short pass, may have a little bit of advantage. They won't try to do too much into this wind.
Well, Penn hopes that lightning will not strike for the 3rd time in 11 years. Did we tell you how big a game this is? This is the 100th meeting, the Ivy League championship at stake when we come back to Franklin Field. Work is brought to you by Weiss, Peck & Greer, quality investments for individuals and institutions. And by GTE, proud sponsor of Cornell football. Back at Franklin Field, and let's check in with the 3rd member of our broadcast crew today. He was with us back in the Princeton opener, former New York Giant defensive back Mike Mayock. Mike?
Thank you, Jim. As if Cornell's defense didn't have enough to worry about today with Jim McGeehan and that talented Quaker offense, starting defensive back Nick Bomback will miss today's game with a pulled hamstring. Now, his replacement, Andrew Slocum, has seen significant action this year, but he'll be playing today with a broken thumb. Secondly, freshman place kicker John Roden will get his 2nd start of the season. Now, the Achilles heel of this Cornell team this whole season has been their place kicking. And Roden started the first game against Princeton and missed his only 2 shots. Number 1, a place kick, and number 2, a field goal. So he'll get a chance to play a significant role, one way or another, in today's football game.
All right, Mike, thank you very much. The University of Pennsylvania has won the toss, but with this high wind here, they have deferred and will kick off with the wind, and already the wind has blown off the tee. Mike Fitzpatrick is back. Pete Fitzpatrick is back on your right, and Ron Mateo, very dangerous, number 87, on your left. And now they're going to have a man hold Blockner, because the wind, in watching the pregame ceremonies by the band, you should have seen the flag folks. They couldn't control their own flags, and they're down on the field. Here's Glockner's kickoff. And this game for the Ivy League Championship is underway. That is Fitzpatrick back at the 5-yard line. At the 20, and gets out to the 25-yard line. Where will be first and 10. Cornell Laser, last game, quarterback Fitzpatrick, same, a tailback. Ned Burke, the fullback, he'll catch a lot of passes. Behrman and Mateo, the dangerous wide receivers, and a freshman, Jimmy Seifert, is your tight end. Line, McKeon, Hackett, George, Gilkinson, and Weinstein. First down from the 25, Cornell's. Brilliant sunny day. The only factor that's bothersome to teams and fans alike is the wind. Chad Levitt, who's starting in their tailback over Fitzpatrick, and the freshman from Pennsylvania gets out near the line of scrimmage, and that's all. Benton, Rurkamp, Johnson, Dresser, and Turner. And remember, Benton and Turner largely linebackers instead of defensive ends, and Goodwoody and Berlin, great linebackers, back them up. They're really full linebackers there. Hopkins, Daniels, Giannis, and Morris are the defensive backfield. Second down and 10 from the 25-yard line. Laser, fake handoff, and now going against the wind for Mateo, and it's behind him. That will be third down and 7.
You know, as you look at Penn right there, the uniforms that they're wearing, those of you who watch Ivy League games, you know, usually teams wear the dark at home. Obviously, Cornell wearing their red jerseys right there on an away game. The reason is that with this 100th anniversary game, Penn is wearing jerseys that are like they wore in their early days. You know, those stripes going down the sleeves, the white jersey. That's why you see the unusual jersey for Penn.
Now, wait a minute. That wasn't that early. That was in the 40s. Not that early. Here's Laser pitching out Fitzpatrick with the ball, and he won't get much there. And that shows you why Penn is #1 defensively in the Ivy League, as they held Cornell to about a yard on 3 plays.
Right, you see their team speed there. Running to the outside is very difficult against this Penn team. There's Dave Benton, the outside linebacker on that side. He played a role in stringing it out, as did Magallanes, who's the strong safety. But, you know, 1940, for me, Jim, that's kind of ancient history. If it's before you're born, you can't remember.
Now, here's Jeff Cochran. Remember, he will be kicking into an extremely strong wind. Looks like Masick is the deep man, not Babish. High in the air and a pretty good kick, driving Masick back to about the 37-yard line. And he won't go, well, that is Fabish back there, and Fabish gets out to about the 45-yard line. Looks like he was trapped at the 39-yard line. Now here comes a very good Penn offense onto the field, led by Jim McGeehan, who threw 3 touchdown passes for the 3rd time last week. Stokes, the dangerous tailback. Denali, largely a blocker. Masick, he has caught 12 touchdown passes, and Purcell is the other wide receiver. Holman, the tight end, and here are your offensive linemen: Glasscock, Knox, Gianculas, Carcufo, and Freeman. Now let's see what Penn could do working with the wind from their own 45-yard line. McGeehan's going to throw with the wind on the first down play, and over the middle it is, and down to about the 49-yard line. The catch made by Terrence Stokes coming out of the backfield. That'll be second down and about 4. So Penn opens it up right away and goes with the wind. Garvey, Emmett, Woods, and Buss, the front 4 for Cornell. Wagner, Zingo, and Vitullo. The linebackers, Slocum, Knopp, and Blattenberger, and Golden, your defensive secondary.
Well, if you're Cornell, exactly what you didn't want to have happen happened. Penn is in control of field position here early in the ball game, and you did not want to have that happen.
Here's Stokes, and boy, what a nice tackle there. That right at the line of scrimmage, and that is number 95, Dick Emmett, a senior playing his last game out of South Russell, Ohio.
As you notice, Pennsylvania does not use a huddle. It's not a hurry-up offense, but what they do is they just go right from the line. They call their play right at the line of the scrimmage. They don't go into huddle, and what it does is it puts the defense off tempo. It allows Pennsylvania to control the tempo of the offense.
Bill Cobb comes in on 3rd down. They have 3 wide receivers. McGeehan back to throw. Has the time, now runs out of time, and is running for the first down. And will be, well, he's still on his feet and knocked out of bounds at about the 35-yard line. They'll mark it at the 36. First down, Pennsylvania.
When you talk to Penn's coaching staff, one of the things that they'll say is that this kid is just a really fine athlete. He's got good feet. You saw his good speed there. That has contributed to his ability to avoid the interception. He's thrown only 4 interceptions and 23 touchdown passes. And when you only do that kind of turnovers, this is the kind of offensive numbers you get. Look at the passing. 230. You see the balance across the way as far as passing and running for Pennsylvania, and the big reason is their quarterback, Jimmy McGeehan.
First down, 36, no score early in the ball game. We're in the first quarter. McGeehan throwing, and there's a nice catch. And actually, we'll have to check because they have new jerseys to tell us who it is, and it is Leo Conjun. Yeah, that number was not given to us before the game, but it is Leo Conjun, number 80, who made the catch.
Excellent throw and catch there. And Conjun right up the seam, right up the middle of the Cornell zone, lunges out and makes a great catch, and Pennsylvania driving here early on the first drive.
Conjun is the 5th wide receiver, 5th different wide receiver they've had in the ball game here in the first series of downs that Pennsylvania's had. Now 2 wide receivers to the left. Here's McGeehan to Stokes. Stokes looking for running room, has one, lost the football. It looked like Cornell got it. Let's hold on. Pennsylvania's defense is coming out. There's the big mistake. Stokes fumbles, and the ball is picked up, we believe, by Buss. Steve Buss, the sophomore out of Wheaton, Illinois, home of the great Red Grange, makes a big play for Cornell.
At GMC Truck, we've built a reputation for truck strengths. A considerable advantage. It also comes in this handy take-home side. Sierra from GMC Truck.
On the fumble by Stokes.
You see right there, this is a big turnover, obviously, for Cornell. It'd be nicer if they got it in Penn territory, but with Penn driving like that, they were obviously going to score, go ahead in this ball game early. That's what Cornell can't afford to have happen. When it comes right down to it, Penn obviously has a lot more to play for today than Jim Hoffer and the Cornell team. Cornell trying to go 5-5, keep them from having a losing record. Those things are important in the seniors' last game. On the other side of the ball, Pennsylvania playing for the Ivy League championship. You know, if you get behind, it's tough to come back in a football game like this if you're Cornell.
First down, they only gained a yard and 3 downs the first time Cornell had the ball. Hand off, and Fitzpatrick gets a couple of yards here. Now, in talking about the offense, which you were, Kevin, let us remember that on the defensive squad, which is number 1 in the Ivy League, they have 4 players who have been Ivy League Defensive Player of the Week at one time this year. 4 different players.
Well, and they're so fast. They pursue so quickly, and their linebackers are so aggressive that offensively you want to try to counteract that. You like to run the option. I wouldn't be surprised to see the option here, but you like to work the short passing game to get behind those linebackers and use their aggression against them.
3 wide receivers on second down at about 9. Laser still with the ball, looking to get the ball downfield against the wind, and misses his fullback, Ned Burke.
See, the problem that Cornell's having right now is that in these last 2 series, they haven't been able to get anything on first down. If you find yourself in 2nd and 11, 2nd and 9, 2nd and 10, it makes it very difficult. You then have to go to the pass, and with the wind blowing in the face, it's very tough for Bill Laser to get the passing game going.
And remember, we had on our graphic coming on the air, they expect the wind to gust at 25 miles an hour. It all depends on which forecast you listen to, because we've heard forecasts of as high as 30 to 35 miles an hour. Third down, and about 8 to go from the 17-yard line. Laser to throw against the wind, lays the ball out there for Mateo, who gets tangled up in the legs of number 9, Jamie Daniels, one of those Ivy League players of the week on defense earlier. And again, Jeff Cochran is called on to kick the ball into the wind.
The last time Jeff got a great kickoff, but, you know, as you see Jim Hoffer sort of tell Laser to just shake it off, they got to have better plays on first down. This team is going to have to get in better field position after first down, or they're going to really have trouble offensively.
Good snap from center. Cochran, here's one really held up by the wind. Fabrish does not call for a fair catch. Still on his feet and then dragged down. Back in a moment. No score. And again, Penn is in Cornell territory at the 45. The ball at the 41-yard line.
Trying to figure out what's going on down in the field because there was an offsetting penalty, 2 personal fouls, one on Penn, one on Cornell, so there'll be no effect on the play. Then you got to give Jeff Cochran some credit as the punter for the fine job he's done on the 3 kicks into the wind. 3 great punts, and it's kept Penn from having field position inside Cornell's territory. Good first quarter for Jeff Cochran into the wind.
If it matters at all, there were offsetting penalties on the kick, and that's why it's taken so long to get them going again. Personal foul against Cornell and an illegal block against Penn, offsetting, and the ball after the ball was caught, so it still belongs to Pennsylvania. They are their third series. Here's Masic's first catch. Big, strong, wide receiver, 6'4", that's awfully tall, and he can run.
And he's just a sophomore, so he's going to be giving people fits for 2 more years after this one, and he's a little banged up. He comes off the field. But see, what Penn will do for you, they will stretch out their offense, spread it all the way across the field. And if you don't put your linebackers or you don't put someone out there to actually cover the receiver, they'll throw that hitch pass all day. They'll take the 5 yards, move the sticks forward. Masick that time ran for some extra yards and got a first down inside Cornell territory.
Brassel and Cobb to the left and Masicc to the right. On first down in Cornell territory for the 3rd time. Terrence Stokes, he fumbled last time he carried the ball, picks up a couple of yards. I said Masicc can run, and I want you to talk about the way you were talking yesterday, Kevin, about how he runs, the smoothness where he's very deceptive to defensive back.
Yeah, he's a very good athlete. You know, a lot of the time, big, tall guys like Masicc, 6'4" or 5, they're kind of gawky. You know, they're not smooth in the way they run. He's a very smooth runner, and what that does for a defensive back is he has a tendency to run up on the defensive back. The defensive back doesn't think he's going as fast because he's so smooth, and he'll run by you. He only runs about a 4.7 40, but it's faster than that on the field.
2nd down 9, no score, and here's a throw, and that ball, I do believe, is caught by Masicc, the man we're talking about, and that's good enough for a first down. Down to the 36-yard line. 2 men on him, but he made the diving catch.
It was Bill Cobb who made the catch, number 3 there, but that just shows how tough Penn is. They got a lot of different guys coming into the ball game all the time. That time it was Bill Cobb. Next time it'll be Miles Masicc, and they catch the ball so well. And McGeehan throws the ball so well and is smart about the way he throws it that they have a very, very difficult passing game to defend. When you go out and try to defend the pass, then they'll come at you with Terrence Stokes. So it's a very balanced, effective offensive attack for Pennsylvania.
Quakers driving for the 3rd time. There's Stokes. Stokes this time has a hole and gets down near the 25-yard line. And that should be enough for another first down. Pennsylvania very quick offensively, very quick defensively. No score yet, undefeated. And in this 100th meeting between Penn and Cornell, they're trying to put away an unblemished season. And for Al Bagnoli, their coach, it'd be his first undefeated season here, but his 5th of his career. There's Terrence Stokes, and there are some numbers on him. He's had a great season.
Now, as I mentioned in the open, the 272 yards coming against Princeton, his biggest day, obviously, of his career, of his life so far in that big victory over Princeton 2 weeks ago.
First down, looking, Cobb one way and Masicc the other, and McGeehan in the end zone.
Oh, I thought he made the wrong choice. Bill Cobb ran the out and up on the left side of the field. Miles Masicc ran the go on the right side of the field. McGeehan pumped to the left on the out for Cobb, and Cobb was wide open. He had beat his man, was wide open in the end zone. But, you know, when you got a guy like Miles Masicc, he's got more than 60 catches, quarterbacks have a tendency to want to go and throw over to that guy. Even if they don't see him being wide open, they'll go to Miles Masicc, number 2, more often than not.
Purcell and Cobb to the left and Masicc to the right. On 2nd down and 10, no score late in the first quarter, a little more than 2 minutes to go. And there's Stokes looking for running room and gets a few yards before he's stacked up. You can see Zingo in there. You can see Woods in there. A lot of folks in on the tackle of Stokes, who's very quick. Stokes is not a big man, only weighs 168 at 5'10". Remember, Sunday had a rush of last year, operating from that spot. Incredible. 3rd down now and long. 3rd and about 7 to go. 3rd opportunity for the Quakers to put something on the scoreboard. Bumble stopped him once, Cornell stopped him once, and now here's the 3rd time. 3rd and 7. McGeehan back to throw, and throws, and it is off the hands of the intended receiver, Terrence Stokes, who was hit hard there by Vitullo as the ball got to him. And now we're going to see our first field goal attempt of the day as Mark Horowitz comes in. It's going to be as a barefooted kicker, and there's a Cornell man down back at the 37-yard line. That is Dick Emmett.
It's Dick Emmett who's down, and so we'll have to wait a couple minutes. Cornell's defense, while we see Emmett being attended to there, has done a great job so far in this ball game. The first quarter, they've been pinned back in their own territory time and time again, but have not given up the big play. And their defense has done a good job on the third and long situations because they've gotten in, and the defense that they're using is they're using what's called a man under two deep. They're letting the underneath players play man-to-man on the receivers and keeping two safeties back to defend against the big play. And so far, Pete Noyes, the defensive coordinator, has got a good plan to contain Pennsylvania's powerful offensive attack, and has prevented Penn from getting touchdowns.
There you can see Mike Horowitz, who has the barefoot. This will be a 39-yard kick with the wind.
I never been able to understand that, why the barefoot thing works for you, because that's got to be so painful, especially when it's cold like that.
5 of 6. Look at this. 5 of 6 from this distance, and with the wind, and Horowitz misses. And again, the Quakers have lost a chance. They've had 3 good drives, 3 wonderful field positions from which to start and come up with a big 0. Emmett, by the way, walked off okay.
Jim Hoffer's got to feel real good about the first quarter. You know, there are 2 minutes to go. He's had the wind in his face. He's been pinned back in his own territory 3 times, and so far Penn has no points to show for it. You know, in all these kind of games, whenever one team's favored over the other, you know, big favorites. So you see the Princeton Dartmouth score. Princeton taking the lead 7-0.
Now, should Penn lose here, the winner of that game would share the Ivy League title with Pennsylvania, should the Quakers lose. Here's Laser against the wind, and incomplete. Intended across the way for number 82, who's already made a catch today. Well, Kenny Owen.
Gerald Hopkins was right on top of that. He saw the hitch all the way, and you know, if Bill Laser had made a good throw, it probably would have been intercepted for a touchdown for Pennsylvania. Gerald Hopkins reacting quickly, so Bill Laser probably saw that, just chose to throw the ball to the outside and away to avoid any kind of interception.
2nd down and 10. I'm sure Cornell is just waiting to get the wind at its back. They've dodged a bullet 3 straight times now against the offense of Penn. Here's Laser faking, and he's going to be hit from the side by Pup Turner, number 27.
It's so difficult to protect against this fast Pennsylvania defense, and what they do is they disguise so well who's coming. Pup Turner, he'll come right off the front side of your screen here. Laser doesn't feel him at all. Laser's doing a pump fake trying to go up top. Number 27, Pup Turner, came in without even being blocked.
3rd down at about 15, and on the sidelines, Jeff Cochran is thinking, oh my golly, I've got a kick into the wind a 4th time in this quarter. If you just joined us, the wind is very strong in the face of the Cornell offense. Laser back to throw. Throws it out to his back. Number 40.
It's Doug Ingham.
Doug Ingham.
Catches the ball on the outside. You know, that's one of those tough situations. You're 3rd and a million. The wind's blowing in your face. You really don't want to throw a flutter ball up there, get it intercepted, and make a big turnover. So you just try to get it to a back and see if he can't make somebody miss. They didn't get enough for the first down, so it's 4th and about 4. You know, Cornell would have really loved to retain possession of the football for the rest of the quarter and not give Penn another chance going with the win, but Jeff Cochran in to punt one more time.
4th time. Whoops, he just does get it away, and he's knocked down, but there's no flag this time. It's going to come parallel across the field, paralleling the 45-yard line, where it is down on the 43-yard line. It'll be 1st down for Pennsylvania. Andy
Berlin darn near blocked that punt. You know, Jeff Cochran tried to make it look like he got hit, but Berlin just missed it. Yep. Well, we got a call. You know, downfield, I saw that as the ball. Watch how close he was to getting him. He didn't. He went right underneath it. But downfield, the ball hit the back heel of number 9, Jamie Daniels, down the field.
How about that? There's another big break.
And Cornell got on the ball, and it's a turnover. I thought the ball looked like it hit Daniel, but there wasn't any call. And then watch as the ball's kicked. It's a short kick because Cochran got pressured. The kick is short. Now, you're the deep guy. You want people to get right. See right there? Right on the back of number 9, Jamie Daniels. He acted like it didn't hit him, so nobody really reacted. The ball bounced around for a while. Cornell was smart enough. When they got on the ball, they said, hey, I thought it hit Daniels. The referees agree, and it's 1st down for Cornell.
The Pennsylvania offense was on the field. They had to come off. And this is the best offensive start for Cornell. They looped the ball out of the backfield for Ned Burke. Burke across the 40 and down to about the 39-yard line, where Benton makes the stop, along with Magallanes.
And let's look at this play again. On the left side of your screen, number 9, right there on the left side. It'll hit him right behind the heel. It looks like it may not have hit him. It's very difficult to tell, from watching on TV. But the officials ruled it did hit him in the back of the foot, and Cornell took the ball over.
Down intended for Fitzpatrick. He and the defensive back collide at the 21-yard line. 34 seconds, and I would think here that they might have taken more time and let time run down and continue this series after this quarter ends in about 34 seconds and go with the wind. They got the ball up very quickly, and they're going to do it again.
Well, I think you want to take the momentum of the big turnover. You want to make a big play right now, establish the game, and I think that's it. You see Bill Laser, a little shovel pass.
And Burke is down almost immediately, very shy of the first down. It'll be interesting here to see what happens. It'll be 4th down and a yard or 2 at the 35-yard line. Time for Hopper to gamble or not?
Well, the first thing he'll do is let the time run out on the clock because he doesn't want to have to punt into the wind, although, they're down here deep. You might be better off punting into the wind if you're trying to pin them deep. But I think if you're an underdog like this in a ball game like this, you have a tendency to go for it. Now, it looks like Cornell is going to let the time run off the clock so they can think about it, but I wouldn't be surprised if Jimmy Hoffa, when he comes back for the second quarter, chooses to go for it on 4th down.
For 40, sophomore fullback Doug Ingham has a mild concussion. They're going to recheck him at halftime, and we'll find out in the second half whether he can go. Back upstairs.
Thank you, Mike. This by far is the worst field position as we start the second quarter that Pennsylvania has had. Starting from inside their own 10-yard line, there's Stokes with the ball, who gets out to about the 13-yard line before he is stacked up there.
I had mentioned at the end of the quarter that maybe Jim Hoffa would go for it. The reason you don't is that in a ball game like this, with the wind playing such a factor, you want to try to have control of field position. So he did that little fake field goal punt thing to pin Penn deep in their own territory and try to take over control of field position. It's a 0-0 ball game, and that's what's the key to this football game right now is field position.
Second down at about 6 from a 13-yard line. Pennsylvania in the first quarter fumbled the ball away, missed a field goal. Had a ball bounce off one of the defensive backs. Here's McGeehan throwing out, and a big catch made there by their tight end, number 88. And that is Ben Holman.
Ben Holman makes the catch, but the thing that made that play was great play action. Watch the play action fake here. See the Cornell defense reacting to the fake? Look at rod number 13 reacting, Wagner, excuse me. He goes back to try to find the man he's supposed to cover. He ran a complete circle, number 13, John Wagner, the linebacker, who was responsible for Holman on that pass play.
First down at the 24-yard line of Pennsylvania. They have moved the ball quite effectively. They've done everything but score. Out here to Masick and off one hand and out of bounds. And it is 2nd down and 10.
That's the kind that Penn likes to make. A little pitch and catch like that. Masick goes 8 yards up the field, turns around, he's open. Jim McGeehan usually hits that. As you see his numbers, 5 of 8 for 59 yards so far. He'll usually hit that. He's good at making the pitch and catch, getting that good first down play. When the ball goes on the ground and it's incomplete, it puts you in the tough 2nd and 10 spot.
The 100th meeting of Pennsylvania and Cornell. And if Pennsylvania wins, they'll be undefeated on the season and Ivy League champions. Stokes, with that good start, gets out across the 25-yard line to about the 29-yard line.
When I talked to Pete Noyes, the defensive coordinator of Cornell, about this ball game, I said, Penn's got so much balance. Do you feel like you can match up well with their receivers? What do you try to stop? And he said, I believe firmly that you have to stop the run first and then worry about the pass. And so far, they've been able to contain Terrence Stokes, and Penn hasn't beaten them up too much with the running game.
And it's a 3rd down on a long 5 for Pennsylvania. McGeehan's going to throw for it. Into the wind, gets the ball out here, and the catch is made. And that should be a first down. And that is Rossborough, who plays both the fullback and tight end positions. Warren Rossborough, a junior out of Butler, Alabama.
Well, they call this sort of the H-back. He's not really tight end, not really a running back. Number 82, Rossborough, coming off the left side, finding the flat in front of the zone, not number 26, making the tackle. But that's just good football where you find the spot, find the first down, find that little hole in the zone, and Jimmy McGeehan does a good job of making the hit on the pass.
McGee now with the first down across the 35 to the 37. Stokes with the ball again, and Stokes, there's a flag going down as the ball goes down, and it looks like Cornell's got it again. If so, that is the second fumble by Terrence Stokes, and that's exactly what has happened. Lattenberger made the recovery.
Well, this is the way the game needs to go if Cornell's going to win the football game. A couple turnovers. This is a big series for Cornell. Terrence Stokes turns the ball over. Cornell gets the ball in Penn territory with the win. Here it is. We'll try to see who knocked it loose. As he came through the line, it just looks like he brushed off maybe even his own offensive lineman, and the ball got away from him. You see Blattenberger, number 19, right on top of it. Another good break for Cornell.
Laser with the win now for the first time. And look at this. He gets away from one man, and he's going to run the ball across the 30-yard line, and he is bumped down there hard by Goodwillie. Picked up 8 or 9 yards when it looked as though he's going to be sacked.
Great play by Laser. You know, Puck Turner coming off the left side almost had him. We saw earlier number 27 make the sack. Laser breaks free, and he didn't even think about throwing it. Once he got outside, he tucked it under and just ran. Watch right here. Great job of avoiding the sack. Just shakes free, got his right arm loose, then he just tucks it in and starts running. Watch the hit by Pat Goodwillie here, though. Bang! That's tough on your quarterback.
Chad Levitt comes in the tailback. Fitzpatrick goes out on second down and short. They give the ball to Levitt. Levitt's got the first down and more. Good-looking freshman back, and he breaks one tackle, gets inside the 15. First down, Cornell.
Yeah, I was talking to some of the people at Cornell about Levitt. You know, I said, you know, he looks a little bit like McNiff. He's built like McNiff. He said, no, he's bigger. This kid is going to be an excellent back in this league. He's big. He's got good speed. And watch his feet. Look at his balance. You don't tackle him by just putting your head down and putting a shoulder on. You got to hit him and wrap. Big number 33, Chad Levitt. You see his numbers right there in the great 5.4 yards per gain average.
Couple touchdowns last week against Columbia, 106 yards against Fordham. He weighs more than 200 pounds, and there he is again, and they're holding on to him, and he gets inside the 15 to about the 13-yard line. And that was Chris Johnson, the nose tackle that had a hold of him and wrestled him down, and now they mark the ball at the 14. 11:31 to go in the first half. Pennsylvania's had all of the opportunities, but have fumbled the ball away twice and have lost the ball on a kick that hit their own man, was recovered by Cornell, and missed the field goal. This is Cornell's first real opportunity. Second down and nearly 10. Full house backfield. Laser still with the ball, and the ball is lost at the 1-yard line.
Aaron Berryman across the middle of the field, number 1. Ball thrown a little bit high, but you know, obviously he should have made that catch again. It's tough to make those catches across the middle when they're high, because you know your hands go up and your ribs get exposed. But Aaron knows. You can see him shaking his head. We got an isolation camera on him. You see it, just find the hole in the zone right in the middle of the field and settle down. It's a good throw. You just can't make the catch.
Well, that's a couple that they've dropped on Laser now. Third down. By the way, Doug Ingham was in on that last play, so obviously he is okay. Number 40.
Laser changing the play at the line of scrimmage.
Laser, quick drop, gets the ball into the end zone, and the ball is caught for the touchdown. And getting up is Mateo.
Great audible first, great pass, and great catch. That's great football right there, because you see, Bill Laser, the senior quarterback, comes to the line of scrimmage. He sees a lot of movement. He feels blitz. He calls out to his left. He changes the play to a fade. Ronnie Mateo, who's had a tough season. You see Coach Hopper wrapping his arms around him. Mateo's been hurt this year. He's had a turf toe. Has had a tough season, but runs a good little route. The pass is perfect, and he makes the catch.
And here's a story. John Roden, a freshman who was tried in Princeton, missed a field goal, missed an extra point, has not kicked since. Will try to get his first point ever for Cornell. Cochran to hold. With the wind, gets the ball up, and that should give him some confidence. As it is 7-0, underdog Cornell leads Pennsylvania by the score of 7-0. On November 28th in 1895, Cornell replaced Harvard as Penn's Thanksgiving Day opponent. The game was moved to Franklin Field for the next 44 years.
Too late, and Ron Mateo gets a touchdown catch. I had a chance to talk to Ron yesterday, and I'm going to have to do this. He's celebrating right now. He wanted me to wish his mother a happy birthday. I told him I probably couldn't do it, but I figure if he gets the first touchdown in the game, I'll give it to him. So happy birthday, Mom.
Now deep is Amon Aby and Mark Fabish. And the kickoff, we will see, is to be handled by McDermott. And for Pennsylvania rooters, remember, against Fordham, they were down 24 points. And against Harvard last week, they were down 10 points. And each time Pennsylvania came back, this ball game, with 11 minutes to go in the second quarter, was a far, far piece from being over, especially with the breaks that Cornell has had and the mistakes that Pennsylvania has made. But the momentum right now is in the favor of Cornell, and also the wind is in their favor. Lattenberger to hold.
I think you make a great point, though. Penn has been behind before. They were behind seriously against Harvard. They came back and won, so they're going to have a belief in themselves. As you said, a lot of football left to play.
Babish looking at the ball. It goes into the end zone, and he will not bring it out as it gets the end line and will come out of the 20-yard line, first down and 10. And so the Quakers will put it in play from the 20-yard line, trailing as they are by the score of 7-0. In historic Franklin Field, named after, you guessed it, the man who founded the University of Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania supporters and maybe historians have said one of the best ideas, if not the best idea, that Benjamin Franklin had, forget the kite with the key, was founding the University of Pennsylvania. They were quite proud, and understandably so, this great university, which is in right downtown historic Philadelphia. First down for the Quakers. McGeehan going to throw, and he has Basic out here this time, and he is wrestled out of bounds by Knopp.
See, if you're going to play 10, 12 yards off Masick, they're going to throw that hitch all day until you choose to stop it. Knopp, the quarterback on that side, when they lined up at the line of scrimmage, was 12 yards off the line. So Masick's just going to run out 8, turn around, big target for his quarterback, pitch and catch, first down.
And again, if you've just joined us, not only is the score 7-0, but those uniforms are correct. That's what they started wearing in the 40s, into the 50s, and perhaps early 60s, as the Pennsylvania Quakers and Cornell are celebrating the 100th anniversary of football, 100th anniversary of their first game against each other. First down on the catch by Masick. Just over the 30-yard line. Here's Stokes, who's fumbled twice, and he is dragged down. The man in the middle there was Dave Woods making the tackle, number 59.
You know, you talked about a team not going into the huddle. One of the things that Pennsylvania's offensive coaching staff told me is the thing that's nice about it is that the defense has to line up right from the very start. Now, right now, while they're all standing around, the receivers are looking at the positions of the defensive backs. The offensive line is looking at the positioning of the defensive line. They're having a chance to look at their opponent for 10, 15 seconds. Receivers right now are trying to read what defensive coverage am I going to get. McGeehan gets to take a look at it. Now they let it go.
Second down, 7 from the 34. McGeehan looking out and has a man wide open, and Stokes is drilled by Slocum.
Well, somehow he keeps that left hand out of the way. You see the cast, the big cast there on his left hand. Big hit by Slocum here. Just as soon as Terrence Stokes catches the football, he's going to be met by number 32. Whenever you run a flat route and you're a receiver, you hope the defense isn't in what's called squat 2 coverage. That is the cornerbacks coming in and closing in that 5-yard area, because you always catch it and run right into the guy.
Now it is third down with about 6 to go. 7-0 Cornell. McGeehan still with the ball, gets the ball out here, and there's a diving catch, but shy of the first down made by Ben Holman, his second catch of the day. Did not get past the line of scrimmage, and under pursuit, McGeehan had to throw the ball. So now, for the first time, 2 things for the first time. Number 1, Penn is punting for the first time, and second, they are punting into the wind. They have not had this situation before. Henwood. Gets the ball away, high, wobbly. Mateo calls for fair catch. Good field position at the 37-yard line. 7-0 Cornell. After suffering 8 straight losses in 19-1, Cornell finally won a game against Penn 32-6. But it was Cornell's only victory until 1913. Many sports, and on the Schuylkill River nearby, you think the Penn rowing team. Well, that's not the team. A couple of folks are out there in the sunlight, but breezy, cold weather here in Philadelphia this Saturday afternoon. The final day of the Ivy League season. Princeton and Dartmouth playing, hoping that Penn loses so they can share, the winner of that game can share the Ivy League title with them. If Penn does pull us out, they're trailing 7-0 in the second quarter. They will be undisputed champions. For Masick, and he overthrows. Right there with him, ready to put the hit on him, was Dave Knopp.
Good job of disguising coverage by Cornell. You know, I talked earlier about how Knopp was lining up way far off the line of scrimmage, giving Masick that quick short hitch. That time he pretended he was going to line up way back there, and at the last second, both he and Ryan Blattenberger got up closer to their receivers. There just wasn't anything there on the short hitch on that point.
And my apologies to Mr. Knopp. It's Doug Knopp, not Dave, as I called him. Second down and 10 from the 20-yard line. Clock shows 5:59 to go. First quarter, Penn operating against the strong wind. Again, it hasn't deterred him. Now he runs into his own man, and up comes quickly. Petulo misses him, but again has to dive around him and finds himself on the ground as Steve Buss was also there.
Cornell linebackers, very sound fundamentally. You know, Petulo that time got to the outside. McGeehan, quick quarterback, run to the outside. What Petulo did that was very good was he made McGeehan turn to the inside. It's the same thing that Zingo did earlier. Go ahead and set your position to the outside. Don't let the quarterback get out there and run away. Contain him, turn him to the inside, and then make the tackle. And that's what Petulo did right there.
Third down and 9. McGeehan talking to his 2 wide receivers right and 2 wide receivers left. 4 wide receivers. He's back. Under little pressure from Masick, and he can't hold on the ball at the 35-yard line. Would have been a first down. And Penn is stymied once again. Cornell holds.
Excellent job again by Cornell's defense. Tough catch there for Masick. The ball thrown out and away, going across the middle. Here you see number 2, just a little dig route, about 15 yards toward the middle of the field. This is the thing. It's tough when you're a receiver to stick those arms out when you know there's traffic. You see 47 Zingo coming into the picture. You don't want to be laid out in front of that guy.
Last year was All-American Rob Sims. This year's Tim Henwood. And that ball against the wind is not doing much, is it? But gets a good Penn roll and rolls into Cornell territory. That ball hit about the 47-yard line of Penn and rolls to the 43-yard line of Cornell. 5 minutes to go.
Cornell showing great contained defense so far in this first half. Has done a great job of keeping the Penn players in front of him, not giving them a big play, making him work for every yard.
Let's get a little trite. Let's get a little, do what most football broadcasters talk about. Let's talk about Mr. Mo. What about momentum in a game like this? Is it too early to say they've got it?
Well, I think it can turn pretty quickly because, you know, you're a team like Penn who's fighting for the Ivy League title. The longer this game goes, if Cornell's in it, it's going to be in Cornell's favor because...
Look at this. That is caught by Mr. Berryman, who has had a couple of tough times catching the ball earlier today. And Berryman now makes his first catch. Well, that's a first down.
He used everything to make sure he caught that. You know, that's what happens when you're a receiver. You drop 1 or 2. The next one that comes your way, you're going to use your legs, your body, your arms, your elbows. Watch Berryman. I'm going to catch this one way or the other. He's just going to surround the whole thing with his body. Didn't even think about running after the catch.
Schulman is wide to the right with Mateo. Laser throws out to Burke, and look at that play made by Berlin.
There's your speed, okay? Number 60, Paquette, is trying to get out there to set up the screen. He's used to linebackers that take some time, but Berlin reads screen and just shoots in. Watch, number 60 is going to be out in pretty good position, Paquette, to set up the screen. But watch Berlin. He's just too fast. He's too fast, and he beats him there, and it's a tackle on the outside.
Paquette thought he had the block made, but Berlin just blew right by him and made the tackle.
Puts Cornell in a tough second and long again.
Second down and 14. Fitzpatrick again in motion to the left. Look at that speed getting in on Laser, and there's no getting around him that time. Chris Johnson was in there like a shot, the nose tackle, number 97.
Nothing fancy there. You know, you don't blame that on a blitz or anything. They came with 4 guys and just basically overtook the Cornell offensive line and got a sack. Nothing fancy, no tricks. Just 4 tough football players up front for Penn making the play.
First down by Berryman, down inside the 40-yard line, and now they find themselves third down and 20 to go outside the 45-yard line.
Well, look for him to send Fitzpatrick in motion right up the gut again, trying to throw right up that hash. The favorite play in third and long for Cornell.
Cornell up by 7. 3:25 to go. Laser almost tripped, and he is right down again. This time, a man we've not called on defense yet, and that is McGarity. Thomas McGarity, a sophomore, filling in on the right side for Pup Turner.
Look at all the players that have been named Ivy League Player of the Week. 4 different guys in their defense. Magallanes, strong safety, Daniels a corner, and then 2 linebackers, Beckton and Berlin. And I guarantee you, Pat Goodwill, he's put in some all-Ivy performances in each of those weeks also.
Cochran picks up the low punt, and this is not a particularly good punt, but let's see how it turns out as it goes. Well, it's still inbounds inside the 15-yard line, so it's going to be a good punt inside the 15. Jim Hoffer talked earlier today about a man that we've talked about in this game and for the last 3 years, Chris Zingo.
Chris Zingo has had the most productive career that any defensive football player has ever had in the history of Cornell football, which is now 107 years. When you consider that the most productive tackler previous to him had 349 career tackles, Chris with 2 tackles today will equal 500, and I suspect he'll have more than 2 tackles today. So when you talk about just a dominating football player during the length of his 30-game varsity career, the consistency and the exceptional performance has been unparalleled.
Talking about Zingo, I guess Chris figured, well, they're talking about me now, I might as well get in on a tackle, and so he did of Terrence Stokes. After a short gain, it's 2nd down and 7.
You don't have to be talking about him very long before he's in on a tackle. 20 tackles a game. That's about a third of the plays that an offense typically runs in a game. So a third of the plays of a team running offense, Zingo's going to be on the tackle on it, and some of those are going to be passes upfield.
He's over 500 tackles right now for his career, and there's the ball right off the hands of Stokes. Stokes has dropped 2 balls in his hands and has fumbled twice. He's having a bad day with his hands today.
Yeah, Penn's misfiring a little bit right now. They didn't take advantage of big opportunities in the first quarter with great field position. Now they find themselves going into the wind, and their offense depends so much on the pass. It puts them in some pressure. Now there's only 2 minutes left. Cornell's hoping they can get the football back before the end of the half. See, that's the thing about having a passing offense. Now if you don't complete a couple of passes, you turn it over in only about 20 seconds and give Cornell an opportunity to do something before the half. And now Jimmy McGeehan doesn't like what he sees and calls timeout.
Timeout called, 3rd down and 7 to go. 1:57 left in the first half, and Cornell leading by 7 on the touchdown pass to Mateo in the left-hand corner of the end zone. Cornell, against the one in the first quarter, could do nothing, and Pennsylvania had a lot of chances. We've told you that. Fumbled the ball away twice and missed a field goal. Let's go down to Mike Mayock.
Thank you, Jim. I was just over here on the Cornell sidelines this time, and you would think they're behind 7-0 instead of ahead 7-0. Jim Hoffer, Coach Hoffer, was very upset about the offensive line's performance on that last series with the sacks. And they sat down the offensive line. They said it's not a situation where they're out scheming us. You guys aren't getting the job done. Back upstairs, Jim.
Well, that's something to say to a bunch of folks for the Cornell team, considering that Paquette is a senior and George is a senior. But they're the only 2 seniors there. The rest are juniors and sophomores. But the young team on the field is Pennsylvania. That is a undefeated team with a lot of young talent. McGeehan, however, their quarterback, is a senior, as is Berlin, their good linebacker, a senior. McGeehan coming out here, being chased, gets the ball away. Intercepted! And there goes Terry Golden. And there's a touchdown!
I bet you the Cornell bench doesn't look like a team behind 7-0 now. Great play by Golden, great anticipation. Here's a quarterback, Jimmy McGeehan, who's had 23 touchdown passes and only 4 interceptions. That time he rolled out to the outside. He had Billy Cobb open on the outside. He should have delivered the ball early to the comeback. He chose not to. He tried to throw to the inside guy, and Golden, just a fantastic piece of anticipation from a defensive back, grabs it, and there was nobody who could stop him from going into the end zone.
And he's a man from the state of Pennsylvania, and he now leads the team, as he did with 4 interceptions, now with 5. And here is John Roden, the freshman kicker, who got his first point of the year on a point after earlier, trying to get his second point of the year and put Cornell up by 14. And there's the kick up. And there's a kick through, and it is 14-0. And again, Pennsylvania, for the 3rd time this year, if they are to win, as they did the previous 2 times, must come back. They were down 24 points to Fordham and 10 points last week to Harvard. So it'll be another uphill battle for Penn if they are to defeat Cornell and remain undefeated for a perfect season and win undisputed possession of the Ivy League championship.
Good play action. You see what happened was McGeehan threw against his body. He tried to throw back away from the way he was running. Sometimes a good athlete will try to do too much. I think that was the case for Jimmy McGeehan, trying to throw back as he's running to the left. You see, it's Masick who's coming across the middle who he's trying to throw to, and that's a case of trying to force it into your best receiver. On the outside, I really believe number 3, Bill Cobb, was the man he should have thrown the ball to. He should have thrown it soon after the play action, and I think they would have had a first down. He tried to force the ball into his best receiver, Miles Masick, and that young man, Terry Golden, makes a great interception and goes for the score. Watch it here again. You'll see, you can't see Cobb. He's running a comeback on the left side of the field. But watch what Jimmy McGeehan does. He wants to get the ball to Masick, and you see he's running to his left. He'll throw back to the right. You see, you can't get much on the ball throwing off your foot that way. And he just didn't see Golden, and Golden goes for the score.
Great play by Golden. Cornell has taken advantage of a lot of opportunities, and Pennsylvania thus far has misfired on their opportunities. They fumbled the ball away twice. They've missed a field goal. They've had a punt go off the back heel of one of their players to be recovered by Cornell. And will Lightning strike twice, 3 times in the last 11 years. Here's a man wanting his way, Joey Allen, and he gets out across the 35. Remember, twice in the 80s, Pennsylvania was in the same situation. Cornell beat them in an upset. And as we said, will Lightning strike 3 times in 11 years? Penn hopes not, and Cornell might think, well, maybe it might.
Well, Cornell can't celebrate and think they're going in at halftime. This is an offense that can move the ball down the field 62 yards in a lot less than 1:39. So even though they're going against the wind, the last thing Cornell can afford to have happen right now is for Penn to score and get some momentum.
Short drop by McGeehan. And now he's going to have to run out of bounds, and does. Vitullo was the last man near him, and he forced him out of bounds after a gain of a couple yards. That'll stop the clock with 1:32 to go. Pennsylvania, with the wind, did not score. Cornell could move the ball against the wind. Cornell, with the wind, has scored once offensively and once defensively, and Pennsylvania has been able to move the ball but not come close to scoring. They've been in their territory most of the second quarter with the wind in their face.
I believe that Pennsylvania has 2 timeouts left, 1:32 and 59 yards to go for a touchdown.
The end of that long drop, looking in trouble, and down he goes, sacked. Another time. And in the backfield for the second time is Bob Garvey. He got his 10th sack earlier, his 11th now, having a great senior game.
He is really having a great game, and now there's going to be a timeout on the field. Cornell's going to take the timeout, try to get the ball back and do a little more. Garvey, he's got the 2 sacks, but he's done more than that. He's a big kid. He's 6'3". He gets his hands up. On 2 or 3 occasions, he's made McGeehan make bad throws because he's been in there with his hands up, harassing the quarterback. Garvey with a great first half.
The ironic thing is, Garvey, like Golden, who scored the touchdown with the interception, both from the state of Pennsylvania, and opted to go on to Cornell. It'll be 3rd down and about 14 to go with 1:15 left.
Well, Pennsylvania's a big state, Jim. It's tough to get them all, to come in here.
You're right about that. The ball is at the 35-yard line. A beautiful day at Franklin Field in Philadelphia. In the terms of it is a sunny day, a brisk day, but the winds that we've talked about so often, gusting, they said to 25, and it is at least that. And Jim Hoffer, the adrenaline must be flowing, because otherwise he's got to be freezing out there just standing on the sideline with a jacket on.
You know, the guy who hasn't been a factor for Penn, who's a big key player for them, is Chris Brazzell. The flanker, the senior flanker, has not caught a ball all day today. And, you know, they've been going to Masick over and over again, and they just haven't been able to get the ball to number 45. And he's a big player for them. He's got their highest average per catch, 19-yard average or so. They'd like to get the ball to Brazzell right here on this play.
By my standards, the leading pass receiver has been Ben Holman, the tight end, and they don't often throw to him. There is again handing to Stokes, and he goes 0. He was just stopped in his tracks as he got the handoff.
So Cornell takes their second timeout, and they're going to have time left to get some more points on the board. So a big, big series. You know, your hat's got to be off. Cornell's defense has been phenomenal in this first half. played excellently when they had the wind against them, and now have done good enough to get their team a 14-0 advantage in the second quarter.
Well, let's go back to what you talked about. That the coaches for Cornell could do very little about this game, and the importance of it. It's the senior leadership. And we've seen people like Golden, a senior, Laser, a senior, Garvey, a senior. They have certainly set examples on offense and defense today. Laser, especially with that audible at the line of scrimmage before throwing a TD to Mateo.
Yeah, and you know, I talked to Pete Noyes before the game, and I said, you know, what do you do to stop this offense? What kind of, he said, it's not about schemes. It's not about all that stuff. It's intensity. We just have to have players that just play up above their level, play great football, and play intense, and they've done that in the first half.
Henwood will kick away again into the wind on 4th down and 14. Another dying Quail hits it about the 40, and look out, and still up for grabs as Cornell gets it. Could have been the mistake toward the end of the half. It could have turned the momentum right around, giving Pennsylvania the ball at the 30-yard line, but instead Cornell makes a recovery.
Terry Golden, big play. You know, it's not hard to say that number 3 made a play when he returned an interception for a touchdown, but when you make a play like that, watch the hustle of number 3 here. Ron Mateo is trying to make a big play. The ball hits the ground. He's just got to get away from that. But he knows he doesn't want the ball to roll down to the 20-yard line. It hits off his foot. Number 3, Terry Golden. 2 big plays in about 3 minutes.
Laser on the handoff to Chad Levitt, the freshman. Across the 40, still has the ball, breaks a tackle out to midfield.
And the clock will stop for the first down. Great play for Cornell. Levitt, he doesn't go down very easily. If he gets hit, you have to hit and wrap him because he'll spin on you and just keep his legs moving, and they'll give him a break. He goes off the field, and Bill Laser tries to get something started, but it looks like Pennsylvania's got an injured player, but now the trainer started on the field and then went off.
You're right. It's a big state, but he's from Pennsylvania also.
I think Nick Morris was banged up on the play a little bit, number 7.
Is Laser back, throwing out here for Burke, his fullback, and throws past him. Benton was taking dead aim on him, and the ball was overthrown, intended for Burke, and stops the clock.
That is just such good football right there. Number 58, Benton. Not only does he have good speed, but he's very smart. He's got great instincts. He starts to rush the passer. He's been pressuring the quarterback all day. He sees that Ned Burke fullback flash out outside him, immediately starts to the outside to take away the out route, that little flare route, and keeps the pass from being completed. Great play by Dave Benton, number 58.
2nd down to midfield, 36 seconds to go on the first half clock. Laser, Benton after it. Gets the ball out here to Burke this time, and Burke is really... He takes quite a hit from Gerald Hopkins, but he stays on his feet. It is not a first down at the 43-yard line, but it is 3rd down, and the clock is still running. Less than 20 seconds to go now.
Should have 1 timeout remaining. They need to get the first down, though, here to get in the field position for a field goal.
Laser putting it up, looking for Slocum out of bounds. Schulman out of bounds.
You know,
4th down.
It's tough when you get into this situation to get yardage without throwing across the middle. But now you've only got 6 seconds to go. I think probably with the wind behind you, you'll go ahead and try the old alley-oop. Just get the ball high and deep. Or look for Fitzpatrick going right up the middle of the field, number 15, right up the hash mark, right down the center of the field.
Including Fitzpatrick, 4 men deep. Laser gets the ball to Burke, his fullback. This will be the last play of the half. Barring a defensive penalty, gets inside the 15-yard line as the half ends. Well, who would have thought it? Could it happen for the 3rd time in 11 years that Lightning will strike and Cornell will upset Penn, as Penn is going for the undisputed Ivy League championship, and in this case, an undefeated season. An offensive touchdown, a defensive touchdown, and Penn did not come close as Cornell leads by the score of 14-0. Cornell, the Big Red, trying for the big upset. Now let's go down to the field and Mike Mayock.
I'm with Cornell coach Jim Hopper. And coach, what's your defense doing that no other Ivy League team could do to Penn this year?
Well, I think the biggest thing that our fellas have done today, they played really hard, and that's what we ask them to do, and it's what we work to try to do every single week. But they've played hard. We've caused 3 turnovers, and nobody knows as well as Cornell does what turnovers can do to you. We've suffered early, and we're taking advantage of them so far today.
Offensively, it looks like Bill Laser and your guys are recognizing blitz and making all the right adjustments.
Well, we may have recognized some blitzes. I don't know that we pass protected nearly well enough. We had a series early earlier where we were 3 tries and we were sacked every time, and we've got to do better with that in the second half because this is a competitive football game.
What's the message to the kids at halftime?
Keep playing the way you've been playing.
Coach, go get them in the second half. Thank you. Back upstairs to Jim Simpson.
All right, Mike, and there's the score. It's a surprise, but we'll caution you again that Penn has a way of coming back, but at half they trail by 14. Talk to in person, but he's got a big message for us about this 100th anniversary. The president of Cornell, Frank H.T. Rhodes.
This is an exciting day in Philadelphia because more than 2,000 Cornell alumni and friends have come together to...
I'm a little bit concerned at this moment with the score 14-0. And the standings, remember, in the Ivy League before today. Pennsylvania undefeated overall and undefeated in the Ivy League, of course. Cornell 3-3 in the Ivy League and 4-5 overall. Princeton and Dartmouth, the winner there, if Penn should lose today, would share the Ivy League championship. And at halftime, Princeton is out in front of Dartmouth by the score of 14-0. The same score we have here. And back to Franklin Field in a moment.
You're watching college football on your local Prime affiliate.
Cornell trying for that third upset of Pennsylvania in the last 11 years when Penn has had the title on the line. Why do you wonder, is Cornell going to win or is Penn going to win? We here are wondering something else. Will there be television of Ivy League next year? For the last 3 years now, Cornell has footed the bill, largely in the person of Roger Weiss, a Cornell alumnus, to put these telecasts on the air. And several times, Cornell University, which foots the bill, has asked the rest of the universities within the Ivy League, go ahead and contribute. We will not be on every week. We'll have a game of the week. Would you please do that? But unfortunately, thus far, the other universities have not decided to cooperate with the Cornell effort. So what will happen next year? We don't know. Cornell would like to keep Ivy League television on the air because Ivy League football is different, as you know. It is a football that is well played by great athletes, but also who are wonderful scholars in some of the best schools of the land. And that's the message the Ivy League wants to get out. That's the message that Cornell wants to get out. We hope this isn't our last telecast. We only had 2 this year. We hope we'll be back next year, and I think you hope so too. Now let us meet a Cornell American history professor who's written many books on history, Walter Lefevre.
I think one of the good things about teaching at Cornell is that the students are so good and the resources we have.
It's time for us now to analyze what happened because, as you can see, the score is 14-0. You've heard us talk a lot about it. And the question is, Kevin, the wind is the big deal, but let's get down to what the statistics show and forget the win for the moment.
Well, you see the statistics are fairly even. You know, the big difference in this football game, yes, the wind. Obviously, all the points were scored when a team had the wind behind them. That is Cornell. But all you have to do is look at that turnover line. Cornell has no turnovers. Pennsylvania has 2 fumbles that were turned over, an interception, and that play on the punt when the ball hit off a Penn player, and Cornell took over near midfield.
Well, there are 4 turnovers, as you just said, including the golden touchdown run. Let's go back in time and see some of the things that happened in that second quarter, because everything really happened in the second quarter. And here's the second big fumble by Terrence Stokes.
Well, you know, here Terrence just basically it looked like he rubbed off against his own offensive lineman and lost the football. Right in here where it's crowded, he's lost the ball already. The ball's gone down on the ground. And Ryan Blattenberger, number 19, will come out of the lower right part of your screen and get on the football. And it's a big turnover for Cornell because they moved down the field and scored.
And that led, as you said, to the first score. But let's give credit not to the throw of Laser, the catch of Mateo, but to Laser audibilizing.
Well, the whole thing. I mean, Laser, a senior quarterback, comes up, changes the play because he reads blitz, gets it out to his wideout who's in single coverage, and just a great pass to the outside shoulder and an excellent catch by Mateo for the score.
It was so good, we'll look at it again.
Well, the thing that beat it here is you see Daniels, number 9, and Morris get crossed up. The receivers switch, and then Daniels tries to get back, but he's going to be too late because the ball is thrown to the outside shoulder of Mateo. Perfect position and a nice catch.
And now the 4th and final turnover, and it might be the big turnover. That's the scoring drive, 157, 5 plays with Mateo catching the 15-yard. But let's go to that 4th turnover and the play here of Masick and Golden.
Good play action fake. You see the linebacker, Chris Zingo, reacting to it. But McGeehan, I think, tried to force the ball into a receiver that wasn't open. And Golden, number 3, right in the middle of your screen, comes forward and makes the interception. Masick falls to the ground, and there's really no one between Golden and the end zone for the score.
All right, we have seen the 2 scores. We've heard from Jim Hoffer, and now let us hear from Kevin Guthrie as the second half is about to begin. Penn has a history of coming from behind. Penn is a good football team.
They are a good football team. Al Bagnoli has had 4 teams in his history that have gone undefeated, 10-0. So he's been there before. So that means that he wins games that he's supposed to win, but it also means that his teams have the character to come back in games when they fall behind. They did it last week against Harvard, a pretty good Harvard team that had a lot of momentum. It was a turnover, really, that turned that football game around, and they did it earlier against Fordham. Now, Fordham's not as good a football team as Cornell. So Cornell just has to come out, not celebrate at halftime, but like Jimmy Hoffer said, play the same second half that they played the first half.
Well, will lightning strike for the 3rd time in 11 years? Will Penn be upset by Cornell? Second half kickoff in a moment. The downtown streets of historic Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, you think of, well, the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, Ben Franklin, Tom Jefferson, George Washington, and all the rest. Quite a city, Philadelphia. And in 1993, quite a football team, the University of Pennsylvania, undefeated at the moment. Stokes remains in there, 2 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right. McGeehan will be throwing against the wind, but he gives to Stokes. He was the big man in the first series of downs in this quarter and gets a couple of tacklers there as he meets him at the 23-yard line and mark it for no gain. That is the 4th play in 4th, accepting the punt, Kevin, that it has been Stokes in this half.
Great job by Cornell's defense. Great team defense, stringing the play out, and Zingo, great pursuit. Just the way he just hunts down Terrence Stokes behind the blockers. But, you know, Cornell's doing a great job keeping things inside, containing Pennsylvania's offense with their defense. It's been a great game plan so far for Cornell.
Across the middle, and caught.
You know, if Pete Noyes, the defensive coordinator of Cornell, can make that be the pass that Pennsylvania completes during this second half, they'll be happy. He wants to see McGeehan throw underneath to the running back for 5 yards and not let him throw it upfield to Masick and Brazel up the field 15 and 20 yards down the field.
Well, it's the first time we called Brian Angley's name today. 3rd down and about 4 to go. Pennsylvania trying to not have 3 and out again. McGeehan back. McGeehan looks over here and has his man Angley again, and Angley's got the first down across the 35-yard line. Tackle was made there.
Terrence Stokes once again.
Slocum.
Number 22, 2 catches right in a row. Watch, just fading out into the backfield. No one out in the flat. Stokes catches it wide open. Slocum makes the tackle along with Blattenberger, but trying to take away that deeper pass opens up the short flat, and on 3rd and 5, it's enough for a first down.
First down from the 35-yard line. And now for the first time, we have yet another man running the football for them, and that is Jason Scott in for the first time. I tell you, we're having a little trouble here with the numbers. They have several numbers the same. They have changed their jerseys to the 1940s style. They've had to change some of the numbers, and some of the men are wearing duplicate numbers.
Watch the way Cornell, Bob Garvey, strings the play out. You know, just widening, making Scott run all the way to the sideline. Blattenberger comes up and makes the tackle. But number 99, Bob Garvey, by standing up his blocker and riding him to the outside, made the play go wider than it wanted for a 4-yard loss.
And it's 2nd and 14. McGeehan back, fires behind and low, attempting to hit Stokes again.
See, once again, the short pass to the running back on 2nd and 14. Cornell's defense is going to give that up all day. They're going to let him throw that pass for 4 or 5 yards, and in fact, it didn't get completed, so it's even worse than that. 3rd and long puts Penn in a tough situation.
Well, I tell you, it may yet be that Terrence Stokes will have a great game. He's averaging nearly 130 yards a game, and he had 80 yards on a pass play for a touchdown last week, but today, Terrence Stokes has not had a good day. Couple of fumbles, dropped a couple of balls.
Well, I'd watch for Brazel here, number 45.
All right, I'll watch for him. Here's McGeehan back, and he's going to be caught now. He gets the ball away, aiming for Stokes again at the 35. And again, Pennsylvania is held by the Cornell defense, which leads by 14, 9:50 to go.
You know what Cornell's doing a good job of? On the outside receivers, Masick and Brazell, they're bumping them at the line of scrimmage. They're hassling them, getting in their face, not letting them get into their pass routes, disrupting their routes. I think McGeehan wanted to go to Brazell there, but he took a hit from Blattenberger, couldn't really get open early enough, and pressure came.
Enwood with the punt. Just does get it away, and it's a boomer into the wind. Mateo over the shoulder catch all the way inside his own 20-yard line, and he's fenced in there and gets out near the 25-yard line, where Cornell with the win will go again, trying to make something happen. In 1928, Penn's Paul Scholes scored 4 touchdowns, kicked 7 extra points, gained 312 yards. Quakers won 49-0. 9:38 to go, 14-0 Cornell. The Big Red would like to make something happen here. The momentum could really switch to Penn if they could get a score against the win. What Cornell must do is add a score with the win, because it's almost impossible, at least it was for them in the first quarter, to move against the win. Laser long count. Fitzpatrick. Van in motion, and there's a throw, and it was almost picked off by Good Willie.
Great play by Good Willie there. You know, here's a guy who's a straight-up linebacker. You wouldn't expect him to be a great pass cover guy from the inside. But watch the job he does on Ned Burke here. Gets in position, sees him cut it, running the out, and then just gets in front of the play and knocks the ball down. It's an excellent play by number 42, Pat Goodwillie. There you see, Ivy League Rookie of the Year last year. Good shot at being first-team All-Ivy this year as a junior. It'll be tough again next year.
2nd down and 10. Again, the full house backfield, and now Masterson swings out in motion. Just a short gain across the 25-yard line.
Good play there for Cornell, though, to be able to run the football for 6-7 yards on 2nd and 10. It's a nice lift for their offense, but obviously here they are 3rd and 4, and it's an important series. Cornell needs to keep control of field position. That great punt on the last time by Pennsylvania put Cornell back a little deeper in their territory than like to be.
The exciting freshman Shad Levitt, number 33, is in again as a lone running back. They've got 4 wide receivers out on 3rd down and about 4, and now Fitzpatrick is told to go the other way. Gets in the backfield, lays a short pump, now looks, downfield, stop and go, and the ball's going to be picked off. And down the sideline, Brian Sullivan, a defensive back.
That's number 7. It's Nick Morris. Nick Morris does a little bit of everything for Pennsylvania. He's played quarterback, he's played receiver. Now he makes a big interception. This is reminiscent of the Harvard game. It was a huge turnover that turned the tide. Laser just doesn't get the ball out there. He just didn't get the ball loose because Berriman actually had his man beat on the shake and go. But Nick Morris stepped in front of it, and Laser just did not get the ball there. There's a Cornell player down on the field. I can't quite tell who it is. It's a person who's trying to get involved in tackling Morris. But Morris does a lot of things well. He's, as I said, he's played a little bit of quarterback. He's played some receiver. Now here he is at defensive back making a big play. A week ago against Harvard, Pennsylvania was down 20-10, and Harvard was driving down the field. On the 4-yard line, they got a big turnover. That turned the tide because Terrence Stokes in the second play after the turnover went 80 yards with a pass for a touchdown. And it's Eric Bjerke who's up, who was injured on the play. Looks like he's okay, walking off under his own power.
And my apologies to Nick Morris here, because Brian Sullivan here both wearing the same number 7. And, of course, Morris is a starter, and I should have called him. But let's look at his good work here.
Berryman, shake and go. Here, stop, hook, go. He beat Daniels. If the ball's thrown hard and low, it'll get there. But it was thrown way inside, and Nick Morris, the safety, who's playing in too deep coverage, steps across and makes the easy interception.
Now, remember, if Penn can score against the wind, it'd be a big lift for them, and Stokes gets inside the 25-yard line.
That's Cornell's first turnover. You heard Al Bagnoli say, you know, we've turned the ball over 4 times in the first half. We hope we just don't turn it over and maybe make a play and turn the ball over. And Stokes is slow getting up. He's taking his helmet off, and he looks like he's hurt.
Amon Abbey has come in.
Oh, and he looks like
he's a freshman. And will apparently take his place because Stokes is at least out for this play, I would assume.
Yeah, he has to be if he goes down. But they're looking at his legs. You know, you hate to see that. Abbey, a freshman, is an excellent player, has seen a lot of time, so it's not as if they're having to bring a guy in who's totally green and can't play the position. Abbey's a very, very talented running back. But you'll see numbers 22. It's a counter play. Tries to come back across the grain. Just, you know, it's a classic turf situation. He just had trouble getting his feet going. It's hard to tell when he might have hurt his legs or feet during that sequence. But they're about 3 times. Now, they're rubbing his calf. I don't want to speculate too much. They're rubbing his calf as if he's got a cramp. You know, they're holding his toe up and they're rubbing his calf. I think he may just have a cramp. But watch how turf hurts you. Watch here, he kind of trips there, doesn't have great footing. Then he catches his toe right there. It's just, you know, a very difficult run there for Terrence Stokes.
But he's hopping off the field, not walking off the field as though he's got a cramp. He is hopping off the field.
Well, we'll just have to try to get a report from Mike Mayock down on the sideline. You could stand up here and speculate all day about what the problem is and be wrong. Mike can find out for us.
2nd down and 5. The ball inside the 25. Big series here for Pennsylvania. If they can get on the board against the wind, they will really have the momentum shifting to their side. As in the 4th quarter, they'll have that strong wind behind them. There's McGeehan throwing, and it is caught by Masick at the 10-yard line. Golden was right on him, but Masick made the catch. 1st and goal to go. If they spot the ball inside the 10, which they do, at the 9.
Straight dig route. Watch, he'll come up the field about 8 yards, angle toward the middle, and then break it off toward the center of the field and settle. And it's just a great throw there. Little high. But you see how good he is at catching the football. Golden with a big hit. But you see how he didn't try to jump up and surround it with his body. He didn't jump into the air, catch it against his body, let it get off his shoulder pads. He reached up there with his hands, grabbed it in his hands, and made the catch. That's why that kid's such a great receiver. He's a hands catcher, and it helps him because he's 6 feet 4 inches tall.
And a penalty against Cornell on the play moves the ball inside the 5-yard line. And it'll be 1st and goal to go from there. And the Pennsylvania team is turning to the crowd saying, get behind us here. This is our big moment.
No, he's turning to the crowd to tell them to shut up. Because, you see, they call their plays from the line of scrimmage, and they can't hear the play being called. Their own crowd getting excited to make it difficult for them.
Look at this. Abbey. Touchdown. Replacing Stokes. So turnovers can work 2 ways, can't they? This one, the interception by Morris sets up the run by Abbey, and it's 14-6 at the moment.
Turnover's the name of the game in this football game all the way through. We saw it in the first half. We see it here. Bad pass by Laser turns into a touchdown for Pennsylvania.
Now Horowitz adds the extra point. And Pennsylvania, with a history of coming from behind in their undefeated season, on the board. 7:35 to go in the 3rd quarter. We're now leading by 7, 14-7 on the 4-yard run by Abbey.
Tough to tell from this angle, but as I watched the play, I didn't think the kid got in the end zone. Zingo, you'll see, come from the inside, will wrap him and really drag him to the outside out of bounds. He's trying to reach the football in there. You know, maybe the football crossed. Only thing I can say is that official right there is right on top of the play, and he made the call. But Zingo, filling from the inside, got out there. Abbey looks like maybe he just put the football over the goal line, stuck his hand out and got it over there. The official, I have to say, was right on top of the play, right on top of the call. You know, it's a tough call, but the official made it, so it's a touchdown for Pennsylvania.
And the official was inside the pylon there in the end zone, so the ball, if it was pushed over, he saw it right in front of him.
He was 3 feet away from it, standing right to the side of the line. I mean, he's got the best angle. It's tough to tell from up here, but I think he probably made the right call because he was so well positioned.
7:35 to go. And Pennsylvania down by 24 to Fordham, down by 10 last week to Harvard, pulled both games out, down by 14 beginning the 3rd quarter, now within 7. And here's the kick. Oh, this is a bad kick. But it could be if there's any problem there, but it is caught.
Hey, I think they were planning something there. I think they were trying to pooch it or something, because that ball was kicked so short and Pennsylvania didn't overrun it. It looked like they were maybe even trying some kind of little onside kick there.
Looked like Kevin Maney, a linebacker, came up to make the stop. But here's the opportunity for the senior Bill Laser. with the win. 7.5 minutes to go, just half the third quarter to go. And he's got the ball on his own 42-yard line.
Great field position for Cornell.
Fitzpatrick right down in the backfield. Tell you what, we've called that name a few times, haven't we? Good Willie, Benton.
That was Chris Johnson.
And Chris Johnson.
Yeah.
They have been in there all day long. Johnson has made 2 or 3 plays such as that where he is the lone man, and he is just a man that's beating a down lineman on the offensive side of the line.
Well, Pennsylvania is the only team in the Ivy League that uses an odd man front. That is a 50 front with a nose guard. And Johnson, a very dominant player in there, has caused a lot of teams trouble this season.
Second down 12. Laser still with the ball, and look at this. There he goes again.
Now you want to talk about momentum. I think Pennsylvania clearly has it. Number 62, Kelly Tolton. And once again, no gimmicks, no blitzes, just straight 4 guys coming in and making plays. Kelly Tolton that time, bull rush, gets the sack. There are receivers open downfield. Eric Bjerke, number 86, or number 80, excuse me, for Cornell, was wide open in the middle of the field, but Laser just didn't have any time at all.
Remember, Jim Hopper was very upset about his offensive line getting overwhelmed at the end of the first half, and they're getting overwhelmed at least on these first 2 plays here. Third down and 17 to go. Laser, look out, because he's going to be hit again. Pop Turner coming in. And there are 3 great defensive plays by Pennsylvania.
Now Cornell is the team that has to keep its composure. Coach Hopper on the sideline has to get with his offense, try to get them to relax. Don't let the momentum swing too far on this play, on this series, and try to get their defense ready. It's a question of momentum. Cornell has to retain its poise.
Jeff Cochran, also a senior in his last game. Kicking the ball away. High kick. Fabish, the freshman, at the 30-yard line. Dropped the ball for the moment. Picks it up, and down he goes inside the 30-yard line. They'll mark it really at the 30 because he was driven back. 14-7, Cornell. 78,000 fans in 1946 packed Franklin Field to see linebacker and future star Bednarik make a game-saving tackle as Penn won 26-20. Began. Now here's Pennsylvania. Momentum all on their side. They had a turnover, Morris's interception. They scored on Abbey's run, and then they really stuffed it to Cornell, and they've got the ball back on their own 30-yard line. And Stokes is back in the ball game, and it gets across the 30 and a yard or 2, and that's about it.
Well, Cornell just has to keep playing defense the way they've been playing it. By and large, they've done a tremendous job all day. They can't try to do anything crazy, blitz, or just play their contained defensive game plan that they've had all afternoon. This is an important series, obviously, for them. They want their offense to get the football back before the wind changes, maybe get some points on the board to turn this momentum around that Penn clearly has here in the third quarter. I keep looking to the flags, and the flags have not diminished their strong action in the wind since the game began. Second down at about 9, and here's McGeehan rolling out after the fake to Stokes and throwing from Masick, and again, no play there. It's just beyond it. Masick caught the big pass at the 10-yard line, but several times to this side, McGeehan has either overthrown Masick or underthrown Masick. Tried to get him on the comeback there. Masick feels like he should have caught the football. Looked like he got banged a little bit, but he seems okay. That's a tough catch, but not a bad throw there by McGeehan, because he threw it to the outside of his, kept it to the outside of his receiver. Nobody had a chance to make the catch except his receiver, so a pretty good throw. But at least Penn in a third down and long situation. I keep waiting for number 45, Purcell, a man you say they're going to throw to eventually. They haven't really gotten the ball to him all day long. He's on the far right. Fabish is to the left. And here comes McGeehan again, throwing this time, and that is overthrown, intended for Fabish at the 45-yard line. And Penn is 3 and out and must kick the ball away. You know, I was talking about how early in the football game or in the open, we were talking about the wind and whether or not you contain yourself in the wind. I think it's awfully tough to throw a comeback route into the teeth of this wind. In that time, they tried 2 comebacks in a row. That one clearly fluttered on McGeehan. I think Pennsylvania should have been going with more short passes into the wind there to try to get something established. And Wood to give the kick, and it goes up, and then Mateo will take it about the 33-yard line and hit down immediately there. Lost
the ball for the moment, but they're going to say he was down.
Yeah, I think he was down.
So he was down when he lost the ball, and Cornell avoids a second turnover. 1 cost him a touchdown in this half. 4 helped him to 2 touchdowns in the first half.
You know, in a situation like that, Jimmy Hoffa would just like to see Mateo call for the fair catch, secure the football, and put it down, because, you know, there was really no return set up. 3 Penn guys right in front of his face. There's no chance he was going to be able to make a big play there.
Princeton now leading Dartmouth 22-8. Remember, if Penn should lose this game, the winner of the Princeton-Dartmouth game would share the Ivy League title. And now, obviously, they felt that there was movement in the line because a Pennsylvania man came across the line and knocked the man down and then quickly retreated.
I sure didn't see it.
I didn't see it either, but I tell you,
Wayne Dresser,
Dresser thought it was, and the officials didn't think it was, so they move it against Dresser. He was quite cool there. He pushed him down and then went back to the kneeling position, waiting for him to mark off the penalty against Cornell. Didn't work out.
I guess sometimes, you know, once you're committed, you figure, well, maybe if I do a good acting job, they'll think the offensive guy drew me offside.
Oh, a break for Cornell. They start with a 1st and 5 situation. The ball on their 37-yard line. That is Burke straight ahead for a yard or 2. The first time a fullback has carried the ball today. Had some balls thrown his way. And it'll be 2nd and short. And Kevin, you wonder, they had such good success using Fitzpatrick on passing patterns and an occasional run that they've hardly called his number lately.
Well, they just brought Levitt in at tailback. Right now they want to just stuff it out on the ground in a 2nd and short situation.
Eric Levitt, the freshman, he does not get the first down, but he's across the 40, and it'll be 3rd and a yard or 2 thanks to the offside penalty called against Dresser.
You know, sometimes you get 1st and 5 and you see it as an opportunity to try to establish your running game. Give the ball to your offensive line effectively. Let them open up some holes up front. If you can get a first down on the ground, it sort of settles down your offense. But if you don't get the first down, it's awfully tough. The Penn crowd now getting into it. 3rd and short. They know it's an important series.
3rd down and about 2. Laser's going to throw and has his man wide open and overthrows Mateo. Overthrew him with the wind inside the 30. He had everybody beaten, most notably Jamie Daniels, a cornerback on that side.
Well, Cornell has seen the films that I've seen, and Jamie Daniels has been beat a few times. He likes to bite on the down and out route. He got beat for a touchdown against Harvard. Great time to call that play action, 3rd and short. Jimmy Hoffa gambling a little bit, not too conservative. You can't accuse him of being too conservative. Play action went up top, and, you know, it just didn't work for him.
Looked like the man was offside for Cornell.
Lonnie Davis, number 22, the outside man for Cornell, just jumped. You don't like to see that because he's supposed to just be looking at the football, waiting for it to be snapped before he goes anywhere. There he is,
well,
number 22.
Cornell had the gift of an offside penalty in a 1st and 5, but failed to do anything with it as Laser overthrew a wide-open Mateo. So the move ball back to the 35 on the illegal motion penalty against the Big Red. And Cochran, who has had yeoman duty today and kicking the ball away, and this is last game of the senior, will kick the ball away again with the win to Fabish, 14-7. And Pennsylvania is looking good. Cornell's got the lead. Line drive, Fabish can take this ball, which he does. He's got a lot of speed to get outside. Now it's just going to be buried. He took the ball and actually lost ground on the play back to inside the 24.
Well, that's where your punter really helps you. You know, it's bad luck for Pennsylvania because they wanted to set up a left return. That is, they wanted their return man to run to his left. The ball was kicked way to the return man's right, so he catches the ball way on the right side of the field, tries to come back to his blockers on the left side, and it's just very difficult to be able to make it to that picket fence.
Basic is in, Cobb is in, Dresser is in.
Penn's defense has risen up in the 3rd quarter and done a good job stopping Cornell.
There's Stokes looking for a little room, dodging back and forth and getting across the 30-yard line. Good run there by Terrence Stokes, and it'll be 2nd down and about 3.
3 minutes to go in this 3rd quarter, so only 3 more minutes where Pennsylvania has to deal with the wind in their face.
wide receiver to the left, but the 3 over to the right side on 2nd down and 3. And here's Stokes dashing around. If Petulo gets him, out until Stokes has the first down across the 35-yard line.
He made John Wagner, number 13, miss. The linebacker was in pretty good position, but a nice little shake move by Stokes broke him free. That's the kind of runner he is. You know, he'll take the handoff, he'll look around, make a couple quick moves, and then he'll just burst through. He doesn't have that great long run speed. He's not going to break that many plays for 60, 80 yards, but he'll make guys miss and get 20 and 30 yards on a play that looks like it's only going to be for 5.
And obviously you were right. It must have just been a cramp when he came off the field in the last series, because he's back and running very well. And there's a quick pitch back to him there, and there's Zingo, who's got him after he crosses the 40-yard line to the 41. A gain of 3. It's 2nd down and 7.
He's most effective when he can pick his holes. You know, when he got 272 yards against Princeton, you see Chris Zingo here on the isolation doing what he does best, that is avoiding a block and making a tackle. But when you talk about a guy like Stokes, when you get him in a draw play, screen pass, toss sweep, where, you know, you just give him a little bit of room to sort of peel his way through a crowd, that's when he's most effective. The straight handoffs up the middle, he's not quite as effective.
And now here's McGeehan throwing, and it is no good. Intended out here for Tonelli.
McGeehan clearly unhappy. Well, he's chewing gum. Now wait, you know, how do you chew gum and have a mouthpiece in your mouth at the same time? Now I'm assuming right now he's got the mouthpiece in his hand, because I don't see any mouthpiece around, and technically, you know, it's a penalty if you don't have a mouthpiece.
I don't see it in his hand.
It doesn't look like he has one in his hand either.
No, he doesn't have one in his hand. He doesn't have one at all.
Well, maybe he's eating his mouthpiece. Maybe he's just chewing the last remnants of his mouthpiece. Maybe it's in there. I don't know. He's chewing gum though. You don't see too many quarterbacks chewing gum.
3rd and 7. And McGeehan is forced to pass. Has all the time in the world and gets the ball away. And that was almost a great catch. Almost a great catch, but Frizzell, thrown through for the first time today, couldn't hold on to it as he took a whack as he caught the ball. The whack coming in behalf of Hansen.
Chris Hansen, number 29. You'll see Frizzell come out of the left side of your screen. It's thrown late, though. You see, McGeehan couldn't figure out where to throw it, and that's just very tough to make that catch. The ball should have been thrown earlier, but nobody was open, and Frizzell takes a hit from Hansen.
Henwood kicks the ball away. Good kick. Fair catch this time by Mateo. No possibility of trying to run and fumble the ball there out to the 27-yard line. And now on the clock, only 1:22 to go for Cornell in this game to move with the win. They have scored both their touchdowns with the win, one offensively, one defensively. And then Penn got a turnover in this quarter and went on to score with the big play there. A pass from McGeehan to Masick at the 10. A penalty took it down inside the 5. And Abbey ran it in to make it 14-7.
Well, no reason to do anything crazy here. Just continue with your offense. Don't try to panic to try to get something done before the wind changes on you.
There is Fitzpatrick, and hanging on for dear life is Rukamp, number 75, the senior.
There was a good hole there initially, but it closed quickly as Pennsylvania's interior line, Rukamp and others, got in and stopped Fitzpatrick, kept him from breaking into the secondary.
And now we see Pat Packett going out, limping a little bit. And it looks like Kerry Koza, number 58, a sophomore, will take his place at left guard. And going against a tough line there. 2nd down and 9. Laser gets the ball out, intended for Cook, and he can't hold on to it. And did you see Benton peel back then? Yeah, that started one way and came back and almost caught up to Burke before the ball got there.
Exactly. He's such a smart player. Number 58. He'll kill you by putting great pressure on you, but then he's smart enough to know when he reads screen to get back. He's going to make the tackle. If the kid catches the football, if Burke catches the football, he will be tackled from behind by Dave Benton.
Pennsylvania's defense is doing a job on Cornell's offense in this quarter. It is 3rd down and 9. There's a pitch out to Fitzpatrick, and he's in trouble out there. Morris and company make the stop. That'll be 4th down and more than 10 yards.
First time Cornell's tried to run the option all day and clearly not effective. The option's probably been the most successful running play that teams have had against Pennsylvania's defense, but it sure wasn't there. 4 guys out there waiting for Fitzpatrick.
If there's a blessing, it's that Cochran in his last kick of the quarter, with about 15 seconds to go, will be kicking with the wind instead of against it. At time run out. They're letting time run down a little bit. So Pennsylvania, trying to go undefeated, will be moving with the win in the fourth quarter. Fabish has the ball go over his head, picks it up. He's inside the 15 and goes down at the 14-yard line. It'll come back the other way. 14-7 to score. In 1950, due to a hurricane, only 17,000 of 52,000 ticket holders showed up for the game here at Franklin Field. Despite high winds, Big Red held on to a 13-6 win. Looking for undisputed possession of the Ivy League title. They're assured a tie, 7 points down. In the meantime, Princeton is now ahead of Dartmouth 22-14 in the second half of that ball game. The winner there, should Pennsylvania lose, would share the title with Penn. Now operating for the final 15 minutes with the win. They give the ball to Stokes, and there's a good run by Stokes across the 20-yard line, out to about the 22-yard line before Golden and Blattenberger make the stop. Second and short.
Good first down play for Pennsylvania. Little handoff. Stokes getting good yardage, leaves him second and short. Watch for play action passes here. Can be very effective because the defense trying to prevent a first down.
What you're seeing here is toast being thrown out at the beginning of the fourth quarter. This is the 100th anniversary, but it's the last game for a lot of seniors, and the students there toast their seniors for the good job they've done in their 3 years, and soon it'll be 4 years because they play freshmen now at Pennsylvania. Again, looking for Masick all the way and over towards him. I mean, that time Jim McGee, and he seldom does that, was looking at Masick, never looked him off, and then overthrew.
Sometimes it's just as hard to throw with the wind as it is to throw against the wind. You know, the nose of the ball will get up and it'll just take off on you. I think the wind wasn't a factor in that throw. McGee let it go and it just rocketed off. But, you know, you talk about the toast. It's part of the Penn song. You know, the lyrics of the song, they talk about toasting Penn. And so, you know, the undergraduates take that literally, and then, you know, on goes the Wonder Breads.
I got it. Third down. Looking again for Masick, and this time he's got it, and he is not down. But it's a first down for Pennsylvania as Knopp makes the stop across the 30-yard line at the 32.
You got to take that away. You know, you can't see Knopp stepping off at the snap of the ball. There's just too much room. Third and short. You can't let him have 6, 7, 8 yards, you know, on your cushion right off the snap of the ball.
Start of the ball game, 4 turnovers by Pennsylvania in the first half. They were down 14-0. A single turnover by Cornell in the third quarter. That led to a Penn touchdown, and it's 14-7. First down. Stokes is seeing yeoman work, and this is maybe his best run inside the 40-yard line as he picks up another 9 down to the 39. Ineffective, 2 fumbles, 2 drop passes in the first half, having a good second half despite the fact he was shaken up and out for a couple of plays.
Big hit by Zingo, but you know what Stokes did there, that play wasn't designed to go to the right side. He started to his left, nothing was there, and he just cut back on his own, and that's the thing he does so well, is picking and choosing his holes and getting upfield, and 2 excellent first down runs so far for Penn. Gives them good situations on second and short.
Jansen in his replacement has the first down and gets across the 50-yard line with Patullo and Wagner and Slocum holding on. First down Pennsylvania. They move to about the 46-yard line of Cornell.
Jason Scott, number 1, coming in. One of the things we talked about Penn having balance and speed, they also have depth. And they let a lot of guys play. Offensively and defensively, they rotate players in. Here's Jason Scott, number 1, getting some work. But they'll do that constantly. Masick will go out, and it'll come Cobb. You know, out goes Stokes. In comes Abbey, the second string back, or even Jason Scott. They've got a lot of depth in this football team.
Looking Masick all the way against Masick. Masick breaks 1 tackle. First down inside the 35. Here comes undefeated Pennsylvania, trailing by 7, but moving the football. And in the second half, Cornell has been unable to move the football at all.
Another hitch. You know, Cornell just doesn't want to give up the big play, and that's been successful for him, so you can't fault Knopp for not coming up a little tighter because they're trying to keep plays in front of him. You can't fault him for missing the tackle because Masick puts a nice move on him. But, you know, this is part of Cornell's scheme, is to not to give up the big play, so it's not surprising that Penn's been able to complete that hitch pass.
Stokes again this time for just a few yards. And it is second down and long. Down at the bottom, you can see Woods getting up. Emmett, Zingo.
You know, why you don't like to see people moving the sticks and getting first downs on hitch passes. At the same time, it's not a touchdown. They still have to continue to execute and drive down the field, and you hope as a defensive coach that, you know, one of your guys can make a big play, a turnover or a sack to slow down this drive.
Second down. McGee back. Throws, and over here is the man who's not been thrown to but once before. Bussell finally makes a catch. He was hit hard on the first time I threw to him and couldn't hold on to the ball. This time he makes the catch and is put down there by Knopf.
Another short pass into the flat. Not enough for the first down. It's third and about a long 2, maybe 3 yards to go. And Fabish comes into the football game for Brazil.
Joey Allen is also in the ball game.
Got their big package in.
Third down and about 2.5 yards. And here's Stokes, and I don't know if he got it or not. It depends on the mark. The way they're marking it, he may have it down near the 21-yard line. Certainly it is a shot for Penn to take another shot at the first down if they don't get it when the sticks are moved in.
Counterplay, that pulling guards, and a big lead fullback number 8 does a nice job.
Bill Kopp came racing in from the sidelines. It looked like he called timeout, but that was unnecessary because they're calling for the measurement, which will give McGeehan a chance to come over and talk to his coaches.
Joey Allen, the fullback, put a great block on Chris Zingo, basically knocked him off his feet, which created that first down, as you see the referee signal.
First down. With all this time to go, you begin to wonder, and of course we are putting the cart before the horse. Pennsylvania has not scored, but I would assume here they would go for the tie at this time because we almost have a full quarter to go, but they haven't scored yet. Basic, and
watch the block here by Joey Allen, number 8. Watch him hit Chris Zingo right there. That created the first down.
And here is Stokes getting about 3 or 4 yards inside the 20-yard line. And again, Woods is getting up along with Emmett. And Zingo, again, the same threesome making the tackle. Second down and 6 to go. 10:41 left on the clock.
I was just going to say, using a lot of time off the clock on this drive. Cornell not wanting to give up the big play, making Pennsylvania execute play after play after play, hoping that sometime during the drive they can make a big play to turn it around.
Short drop, McGeehan throws for Masick, and he caught the ball, and it is a touchdown. See, that's like Knopf was off of him, and he just caught the ball.
So, you know, that's where it goes. The hitch will beat you, beat you, beat you.
For the year, an undisputed possession of the Ivy League title. At the moment, they're tied, but they've got the win behind their back and the momentum. Again, based on this catch here and run by Masick, it is 14-14, 10-19 to go in the ball game. Back to Franklin Field after these messages. Defense has done the job on the Cornell offense, so Cornell has 2 obstacles here. That fine #1 ranked defense at the Ivy League, plus the strong wind blowing in its face. It is 14 all. And if you're wondering, should it end in a tie? Yes, Penn would still be the undisputed Ivy League champion. 10 plays it took them. As Kevin said, they took the little play, but then they got the big play to Masick. Bachner's kick with the win. That is Fitzpatrick in the end zone, and he's going to stay right there. So Cornell will start from the 20-yard line. Talking here in the booth while we're away for a moment, Jim Hopper said of Bill Lazor, he has had a storybook career. Well, if it is to have a storybook ending, this is the time for Bill Lazor, but his last game for Cornell, to get it going for the Big Red. He did that.
You You see, Bill Lazor hasn't thrown real well in terms of the numbers today, but he's going to have to throw well now. And, you know, the thing, Penn's had such great pressure. Cornell's offensive line have got to protect the quarterback.
He has had some drops, but not that many. And here is another one that is incomplete, intended out there for Mike Croker, the tight end. One of the few times they've thrown to a tight end today.
Ball just not well thrown. Lazor had good protection. The play action worked for him on first down. Trying to throw it out there to Seifert. Number 98 just couldn't get to it. It was not a well-thrown football.
Al Bagnoli, the head coach in his second year of Penn, trying for his 5th undefeated season as a head football coach. And you look at a good football team, but you also look at the fact that down 14-0, they did not panic and have not panicked, and now have tied it at 14-all. Here's Lazor throwing out, and Mateo on a little comeback. Could not get it. He went down, turned around, came back. Well, that time the ball was over his head.
Timing just didn't look really good. You know, there was so much pressure coming from the outside. It almost seemed like Lazor threw the ball earlier than he normally would. And, you know, Mateo really wasn't done with his route. Look at the outside linebackers and watch them come flying in. Just enough to get some pressure on Lazor. You know, he can feel those guys coming, and he gets rid of the ball early. Mateo really wasn't ready for the ball downfield.
3rd down and 10. They got to give it back if they don't get it here. And there is Lazor, and he's going to be sacked.
Those guys are just flying around. They're flying around.
McGarity.
They're not held up by Cornell's offensive line hardly at all. And it's not just the outside linebackers. It's everybody. Chris Johnson. You see the air coming off the field. Enormous pressure coming from Pennsylvania's interior line, and Turner and Benton off the outside. Very tough for Lazor to get anything going at all. And now Jeff Cochran has to punt into the wind.
For the 5th time. 4 times in the first quarter, and here's his 5th punt. He did very well. Let's see. Almost blocked. And the ball gets a Cornell bounce out to the 45-yard line. But with the score of 14-all, officials running around, and I don't know if they're going to say that it was touched upfield at the 37-yard line by Cornell Mann. So therefore, move it from the 45 to about the 37. And talk about good field position. Pennsylvania has it as they go for an undefeated season and a win here in the Ivy League Championship.
See, right now is where Penn just feels so confident. They were down by 14 points. They're back in the ballgame. They have the win. They are the undefeated team. They are loose and calm. And Cornell has to show all the poise that they could possibly have. It all comes down to their defense here.
And here's Stokes. Look at this kid fly. I want to tell you, when he got to about the 35, he just put it in second gear and got down inside the 30, close to a first down.
Counter play starts to his left. See the pulling guy coming across the field. Nice seal block, and there you see Stokes just get good yardage right up the middle of the field.
2nd down and short, about a yard. McGeehan looks in on every play to the sideline for his play to be called by the coaching staff of Pennsylvania.
Every other time on 2nd and short, they've run the little hitch to Masick on the last drive. Let's see if they do it again.
Up, fumble, but picked up. That was a good bounce, and it came right back to Terrence Stokes, and they'll mark it at the 25, which is a first down for Pennsylvania.
Well, you know things are going your way when that happens. A pitch out to Stokes, didn't catch it, goes down to the ground and comes right back to him. I don't think this happens much on grass. If you watch this on turf, whoops. Oh, thank you. Right back to him and a first down.
First down at the 25, 14-all, 8:30 to go on the clock and running.
You know, as you see Cornell on the field, play after play after play, they have to be getting tired. Plus the fact that the other team never goes into a huddle makes you even more tired. Blattenberger on the stop, and quick pass outside to Stokes. A good hit by Blattenberger, and you can see Terrence Stokes is feeling it. He's going to go, he's a little banged up, and he's going to come off the field.
This time it looks like his right shoulder or arm, and Bill Cobb comes in.
But, you know, you never really get a rest. When a team doesn't go into a huddle, you always have to sort of be ready. So it's not just the physical, you know, running around that gets you tired, but emotionally you get tired. And Pennsylvania has had the football most of the second half, meaning that Cornell's defense has been on the field quite a bit, and they got to be showing some fatigue.
Straight ahead goes Abbey, the man who scored the touchdown on a 4-yard run. Statistics and the way they have scored amazingly similar in that a defensive play produced touchdowns for each team. An offensive drive produced touchdowns for each team. Third down now and 4. And remember, they do have a chance for a field goal should they not make the first down. But the last time going with the win, they missed it. Let's see what happens here. Third and 4. Big play for both clubs. Again, is going to throw all the way and has Mason. And down he goes, and he should have the first down inside the 15-yard line. Down to the 12-yard line.
You're 5 yards and hooked. You know, it's third and short. Just make sure you get beyond the sticks. Here it is at the hitch. Drive off the line, hook up. It's all timing. See, the key is that the ball is thrown on time. You see, it's very difficult to defend it, but if you wait as a quarterback, if you're McGeehan and don't throw the ball early enough, the defender can make a play. But great timing. Those guys run that play probably 20, 30, 40 times a day in practice. They've got that timed up, and McGeehan put it right on the money.
First down from the 12. Stokes gets not much. Now, in looking over the undefeated season of Pennsylvania thus far, remember, to a ball club, a lesser ball club, admittedly, Fordham, they were down 24-0 and pulled it out to win. Last week at Harvard, where they'd not won since 1972, they were down 20-10 starting a third quarter and won that. And here, in their must game to get undisputed possession of the Ivy League title, they were down 14-0 to start the third quarter. And here they are at 14-all, 6 minutes to go, and they've got about a second down and 11 to go inside the 15. Is McGeehan looking for Masick and throws him wide to the right. And again, they were laying way off Masick even while McGeehan was looking straight at him.
It was funny. I think there was some kind of misread there. I think Jim McGeehan thought that Masick was going to do something different. You know, they'll do a lot of changing of the routes in the middle of the play if they read the defense on the fly and feel like they ought to change the route. McGeehan looked like he wanted to throw it toward the inside. Masick settled down on the hitch again, and there just wasn't anything there. McGeehan threw it away to the outside.
Well, you just wonder if Mark Horwitz, who missed earlier, is getting a little concerned now, because if they don't make these 11 yards here, he may have to go for the field goal, and it would be a lot of time for Cornell to come back. But they've not looked good in the second half offensively. Into the end zone they go for Masick. No good.
Great defensive effort there by Doug Knopp. Excellent throw. You know, the guy's 6'4", run the fade and throw it up over the top. Let him go up and catch it. Masick had his hands on the football. Knopp came in late and just ripped his arms down, took the ball away, and prevented that touchdown. Watch it here. You see Masick number 2 at the top of your screen. Just a fade. I'm going to throw it up so that nobody else can get it. High alley-oop. Now watch right here. Knopp just rips the football away. The ball falls down. Excellent effort by number 26, Doug Knopp.
30-yard field goal. He is 4 of 6, including missing one today from this range. And here's Horwitz to kick the ball up and toward, and it is good. And Pennsylvania has come from behind. It was 14-0 starting the second half. It is 17-14 now. 5:44 to go. Cornell will get the ball back, but will be moving against the wind. Quakers trying to remain undefeated.
You're watching
Pennsylvania will be no better than third, behind Dartmouth and Princeton. Well, here they are, number 1, assured of a share of the Ivy League championship due to their come-from-behind win over Crimson Tide of Harvard last week, and now trying to get undisputed.
Offensively, Cornell has got to do something to slow the rush of Pennsylvania. They got to run a draw play or a screen pass, or they got to do something early. They have not been able to protect their quarterback in the straight drop-back game. They've got to do something a little different. Draw play or screen.
Here's Mateo. He's got some speed, and he gets out near the 25-yard line. 5:38 to go, and maybe the last chance for Cornell. They certainly have to get something started.
Go back to that last play. Watch Doug Knopp, number 26. Masick running the fade all the way. The ball just thrown high. It's alley-oop. I've got a guy who's a lot taller than your guy, and he's going to go up and get the ball. Right here, Knopp does a great job of just going after the football, pulling it away, and the ball comes loose. You see it pop loose as they hit the ground. Masick wasn't able to get his feet down in bounds, nor was he able to retain the ball because of the play of Doug Knopp.
4 men out wide, 1 single back. Lays it with a short drop, and looked like a quarterback draw that just never happened. He only took about a 2-step drop and started to his right, and just barely got back near the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they were trying to get the quarterback draw going to try to slow down Penn's rush. But Kelly Tolton, again, who's had a great second half, saw the draw come in and made the tackle. Loss of about 1 or a little less than 1, and now Cornell finds themselves in a tough second and long situation.
Second down 10. Laser looking to throw. Throws over the middle for Fitzpatrick, who made a good catch at the 40-yard line. First down.
Excellent catch. That is such a tough catch to make. Fitzpatrick running off the wing, going up the middle of the field. The ball's coming straight over your head. It's really tough to make this catch, especially when you know you're going to get hit. See, it's right over his head. The ball's coming from right behind him. He knows he's going to get hit. Nick Morris coming in there late. Great effort by Pete Fitzpatrick,
who had a big first half and has been seldom used here in the second half. One time Cornell had first down and 5 to go and couldn't make a first down. But they come up with a big one there. There's a pitch out to Fitzpatrick. They're featuring him, but Dutton is up tight as he gets back to the line of scrimmage. Also forcing on the play was a cornerback, Gerald Hopkins.
That guy is an excellent football player. He's got all the package. He's smart, he reads well, and he's fast. And watch the way he plays this option right here. This is just great because he takes away both the quarterback and the pitch. The pitch happens so early, doesn't challenge Betten too much, Laser, but he gets out there and makes the tackle. That's just a great play by a defensive end outside linebacker.
Second down and 10. 17-14, Pennsylvania. The rush is on, and down he goes. Who was that man you're talking about?
He's just too fast for David Weinstein. All that was just outran him around the outside. Gave him a power rip move with his right hand and just ran around him. Weinstein couldn't even get a hat on him. Came in. Laser had no time at all.
Third down and 15. Time all on the side of the undefeated Quakers of Pennsylvania. 3:40 and counting. Would wonder if it's close whether or not Hopper would go for it here on fourth down.
And they're coming with a blitz, so they better get rid of it quick.
And here's Levitt, the freshman, not outrunning anybody, but stiff-arming some people and has the first down.
Great run by Chad Levitt. He did outrun some people. Pat Goodwillie should have been able to make a stop. He outran him to the corner, stiff arm, and got up the sideline. Tough spot. It looks like he stepped out of bounds. This is going to be tough to tell. It's right at the line. They decided it is a first down just by inches. Gutsy call to go with a draw on 3rd and 15, but Levitt outruns Goodwillie, stiff arms Nick Morris, who's a good player, turns it upfield. He's just a freshman. That's a heck of a run. Surprised some people there with his speed. Get into the outside. That's a big, big play. 3rd and 14. Jimmy Hopper going with a draw play to a freshman. That's a gutsy call.
In practice yesterday, they made sure we knew Chad Levitt and met him. They feel he's going to be something. Laser being pursued, and the ball is knocked down by number 62, Colton, who has also had a good play in his role as reserve.
Yeah, he's done a great job in the second half here. You know, Penn is so tough. I mean, you try to do something to take, their aggressiveness away from them, run a screen pass, but they still get so much pressure on you. They get their hands up. They do the fundamental things right, make it tough even to complete a screen pass over their defensive line.
Second down 10. There's the time. There's the score. And at stake for Pennsylvania, an undefeated season, their first since 1986. And the Ivy League championship all to itself. Second down and 10. Laser has some time here. Bides it, throws it out, and there's Mateo. Run, Mateo, he says. And he's inside the 30-yard line. He kind of held up looking for Penn jerseys around him. Saw none after the hesitation. Started ahead.
I think you guys are talking about time. Jim, you're talking about time. Time is in the favor of Cornell to some extent here because, they've got plenty of time to score. 3 minutes to go. The issue is if they can go down and score a touchdown, Penn won't have much time at all.
And if they don't, and if they lead it to kicking, would it be the freshman, Roden, who's never kicked a field goal in his life as we watch Mateo make the first down?
I just don't know about Jim Hopper going for a tie. I think they're going to try to get a touchdown one way or the other. I don't think that they really would try a tie, especially with the wind in their face. I think they'll try to score a touchdown no matter what.
Well, let's see if they get a chance. Fitzpatrick's going to throw. He gets away from one man. Now decides to run and picks up a yard or two and almost took out
They wanted
the
to go with the quarterback throwback there. The handoff to Fitzpatrick running to his left. Laser slipped out to the right side, tried to get to the outside. Fitzpatrick was going to throw it back to him. Give him some credit, though. The senior made a great catch on the first play of this drive. He does a super job getting back to the line of scrimmage here. This could have been a big loss. He wanted to throw it back. There just wasn't anything there. He just decided, I'm going to get this thing back to the line of scrimmage.
Second down and 10. Laser, and this is Levitt again, and Levitt has really had success today. I don't think, this may be his shortest run of the day right here, and that is 4 or 5 yards.
And they're just letting the time go. Cornell's just letting the time run, taking their time. They don't feel like time's a factor for them. 3rd and 5. I think it's 4-down territory here. I think Cornell will go for it if they don't get the first down.
Laser still with the football, running. He can make the first down. He's got the first down. Down to the 15-yard line.
There's a flag on the play. The linesman.
They may bring this back.
That's going to be a tough break. That is going to just be really tough for Cornell. They got the first down, and I think they're calling offsides against Cornell.
I think what happened, it looked like both the offensive guards were moving, pulling back.
That is tough to come back from. You know, you make a big play. You get a first down. You're inside the 20 or the 15-yard line, and now they're saying that it could have been offsides against Cornell.
Red ball foul.
I think it was a legal motion, and that's what it was. Both of those were legal proceedings.
Play never got underway.
Well, the linemen were pulling away before Laser pulled away from the ball. 3rd down. He had the first down.
That's a tough break for Cornell.
1:22 left. 3rd and about 5 yards.
No, it's going to be 3rd and 10. They haven't moved
the ball back. Right.
Wait, no, this isn't right. They're doing this wrong.
No,
right now, the official is marking it for 34. He's screwed up.
10 yards.
He should be back at the 29. He accidentally stepped
Hoffer's
it off
telling him, and now.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Now they got to
come back and try it again.
Hoffer went out there and said, wait a minute. All right, 1:22 to go. As everybody calms down, the ball's on the 29-yard line. 3rd down and 10 to go. And as Kevin has intimated, this is 4-down territory. They'll go 2 more if they don't make it here. Trying to pull a big upset for the 3rd time in 11 years. Laser looking to the sideline saying, what? They only have 10 men. He's got to call timeout. He's got to call timeout. They only had 10 men on the field. 1:10 to go. Well, when we come back, it's 3rd down and 10. The ball is inside the 30. Cornell trails undefeated Penn by 3. 1:10 to go, 3-point difference. 3rd down and 10 to go from the 29, and Cornell will do what?
Well, I think they'll throw short. I think they'll try to throw short to Fitzpatrick out of the backfield. You know, I think right now they're thinking 2 downs. They want to get a completion. They want to give the chance to get a first down, but they also want to make it so that if he catches it 5 yards downfield, it's only 4th and 2 or something. I think they'll try to throw to the back, number 15.
3 men wide to the right, 1 to the left. Laser gets the ball away to 15. You're right, and Morris takes him out of bounds.
See, short of the first
4th down and about 2.
You know, just what I was saying was you wanted to give yourself an opportunity to get the first down on 4th down. You know that Penn's been putting a lot of pressure on you, so you don't want to drop back deep and throw it way upfield. You want to give Laser the chance to throw the ball quickly. He throws it quickly, completes it to Fitzpatrick, but now it's 4th and 2. So what they're trying to do here is not get in a situation where Laser does a deep drop and gets pressured. So it's a short drop, 3 steps, 3.5 steps, gets it to the outside right now to Fitzpatrick. It's good defense by Nick Morris. Man-to-man coverage all over, stopping him short of the first down.
Well, quarterback, ex-quarterback and head coach, talking to quarterback. And last game, Bill Laser, who holds all the Cornell records for passing career-wise and season-wise.
You know, what you do is every time you get into a game, in your game plan, you always have a play for the 2-point conversion. If you need a 2-point conversion to win a football game, you've got a special play in that you're going to use. That's really what they've got here. They've got 4th and 2. I wouldn't be surprised to see him play action, quick pass to the outside, maybe play action, sprint out to give Laser the opportunity to throw or pass and run.
Well, we said at halftime, we hope we'll be back on television next year because we believe in Ivy League football. Scholars and athletes together. We started back in the first week of September. Here we are in November, the week before Thanksgiving, and happy Thanksgiving, everybody. And it comes down to 1 minute and 5 seconds to go. A 3-point difference in the game for the Ivy League Championship, undisputed for Pennsylvania. A big chance for Cornell, and 4th down and 2.
That's great. That's great camera work down there. You know, seeing the coach talking to his quarterback, Jim Hoffer showing a lot of poise, doesn't look nervous, doesn't look excited, just trying to get the right play in there, give Bill Laser calm opportunity to get out there. I think they'll try to get Bill Laser on the corner. Play action, sprint out, maybe let him run or pass.
Offensive line has to do its job. Let's see if they blitz. No blitz shown, and there is Levitt, and he stopped. And it looked like Tolson the first to get him.
Well, they went with big running back Levitt. He'd been doing it all day. You said we rarely saw a play where he didn't gain 5 yards. Deep handoff from the power backfield, trying to give him the chance. But Penn comes up and stops him short of the first down and takes over the football with 59 seconds left.
Barring a huge turnaround here, it'll be the first undefeated season for Pennsylvania since 1986. They will have their undisputed possession of the Ivy League title for the first time since then. And Cornell gave it the big rush, leading at the half by the score of 14-0. And then a turnover got Pennsylvania going. Pennsylvania never lost its poise, and right now can just run out the clock with less than a minute to go. As Levitt, who had not had less than a 4-yard rush all day long, came up short as the Pennsylvania defense did the job.
Illegal delay. Offense.
Well, I got to say, this is the story of Cornell's season. What a great effort by their team in this football game. I mean, it's a tough second half, granted, but they put out a great effort trying to come back here in the fourth quarter against the wind. And once again, time and time again for them this season, they come up just short in a big football game. This is a good football team Cornell has, and it's just their record, which will turn out to be 4-6 unless something crazy happens here, doesn't match the quality of this team or the pride in these guys. As you see up there in Hanover, Princeton that had a big lead against Dartmouth. Jay Fiedler, the quarterback, has managed to come back and win that football game. Dartmouth 28, Princeton 22. So right now, Dartmouth is very sad to hear the score 17-14 in Penn's favor, because they now don't get a chance to share the Ivy League title.
And all of the talk about how well Pennsylvania's done, as time will run out, and they deserve the championship, but for Jim Hoffer, this is his first losing season ever at Cornell. He is 4-6. It's the first time he's had a losing season. And for Al Bagnoli, congratulations to him. 2-8 2 years ago under a different coach. 7-3 last year, Bagnoli's first year. 10-0 this year. And his overall head coaching consecutive fifth undefeated season of his coaching career. Great day for Pennsylvania football. And on a more personal note, what a coaching job Al Bagnoli has done in taking over just 2 years ago the Quakers of Pennsylvania. And Cornell, in all of the madness you can see around the Pennsylvania team, the Cornell team is, with no one around them, slowly walking to the dressing room. Their season is over. They're 4-6. The careers of Laser and Zinger are over, and Jim Hoffer suffers his first losing season ever. But these moments, Cornell will be back. These moments belong to Pennsylvania, the Quakers, and their coach Al Bagnoli, and their fine players led by Jim McGeehan, who has played his last game as quarterback for Pennsylvania, and the fine linebacker by the name of Andy Berlin, who's played his last game. And Benton, what a game he had today. His last game also. And even told. That was just, well, it was a wonderful second half defensively, and he has played his last game.
Right here.
Let's go down to Mike and all of that madness.
Don't lose those gloves. Congratulations, Coach, for the win, man. Good job.
Mike, if you can hear me, go ahead. And I wonder why Mike can't hear us.
It's mayhem. It's mayhem down there.
Well, great moments for Pennsylvania, and realize that only 7 years ago they were undefeated also, winning the Ivy League championship. Well, we'll try to sort out Mike and Al Bagnoli in a moment when we come back. But Pennsylvania wins the Ivy League title 17-14 over Cornell. Well, Kevin, it has really been a Cinderella finish for Pennsylvania. A sort of Cinderella season, because after all, as we said, consensus was they would finish behind Dartmouth and Princeton. They finished ahead of them both, and Al Bagnoli in 2 years has gone from his predecessors 2-8 to 7-3 and now 10-0.
Yeah, 17-3 in his 2 years at Penn. That's quite a record. He deserves a tremendous amount of credit. You can see why. We had an opportunity to see why he's been as successful as he's been. Just watching the way he reacted at halftime and the way he predicted exactly the way his team was going to play in the second half, there was no sense of being nervous or tense or excited or like he went in and threw chairs around. He just went in there and told his players to be businesslike and win this football game, and that's what they did.
Well, let's go down again to Mike Mayock.
Thank you. I've got linebacker Andy Berlin here, and Andy, Tell me a little bit about how it feels, going to the way you guys turned around this program the last couple of years.
It feels incredible. I gave my whole life to this game, really. So far in my life, it's run my whole life. Football has been a big part of it, and this is the big payback. And it's well worth it. It's well worth it.
Well, let's talk about your linebacker unit. You got the defensive ends, the linebackers, you 4 guys. Every Ivy League coach I've talked to this year has said that the key to the Penn defense is those 4 players. Tell me about that.
Well, I mean, we've been playing a while. It's a pretty solid group. We all get along really well. Hard workers off the field, on the field, you know, and we got what was coming to us. I think we deserved it, basically, you know, and that goes for the whole defense, not just us 4.
What do you think the key to your season was? I mean, you come in undefeated with Princeton. They're undefeated. You kick them up and down the field, and then you run into trouble the next 2 weeks. Right. But what really turned the whole thing around there?
Just intensity and hard work, basically. Hard work.
And I think that started with your head coach.
I think so, definitely. Yeah.
Andy, thanks a lot and enjoy yourself tonight.
No problem.
Back upstairs, guys.
He has played his last game for Pennsylvania. What a way to go out. He said, I gave my life to football, and this is the big payback. Andy Berlin, great member of the defensive unit, #1 in the Ivy League, and the team is #1 in the Ivy League, the Quakers of Pennsylvania.
Guys, you're not going to believe this. To hear Mike was named.
Should have won it, but the game was in doubt, in hand, until the last 59 seconds when Cornell's Levitt did not pick up the first down. Pennsylvania under Al Bagnoli wins the 1993 Ivy League Championship 7-0. Dartmouth came from behind to defeat Princeton today. They wind up second. Cornell 3-4 and 4-6 overall with Jim Hoffer's first losing season. And you can just see what a day it has been for the Pennsylvania players. There is Jim McGeehan. He has also played his last game. The quarterback who led the league in touchdown passes. For Kevin Guthrie, Mike Mayock, it's been a great season. I'm Jim Simpson. And from all of us, happy Thanksgiving to all of you.